Hello again, brothers and sisters. Welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott, and whatever day it is, another afternoon of sharing some of the Talcottian adventure. And I want to thank you, those who do tune in now, maybe later. I'm curious to see where today might bring us. The link to join is already pinned to the chat. But to start with, that quote on the thumbnail, Henry Ford. That man, he was a wise man. Henry Ford was. One of the greatest discoveries a man makes, one of his great surprises, is to find he can do what he was afraid he couldn't do. Brothers and sisters, that is a firsthand experience I have learned for myself. One of the great surprises is discovering we can do what we first told ourselves or others told us we couldn't do. The determinative factor in if we can or cannot do something is the result. You only get a result if you actually try. You actually put efforts behind the thoughts. Otherwise, you're just dreaming. And brothers and sisters, we live in it's a majestic realm of dreams and nightmares. It's the never-ending comical drama of humanity as collectively civilizations have been built, and governments and commerce and innovations and technologies. Where's it going to go? Nobody really knows, do we? A lot of people think we know. We think we know the future, think we know a lot of things, but I tell you what I have witnessed and remember in myself, I had a lot of faith in excuses. And man, the creative mind is very adept at finding, loopholes and reasons to mitigate. But our minds will do this to create good and bad, right? When we go through periods of pain in our past, it's really easy to form these reasons and justify these deep, impenetrable walls, keep others at a safe distance, right? Without admitting, we could just toughen up a little bit. Stop being so sensitive about our memories and the traumas that we choose to carry. And I know this sounds cold, and let me get to something I put in the description. Yesterday with OTW News, he was open and honest on the YouTube realm and presenting himself as a man who cares. And yesterday I watched myself show him some real insensitivity, some real callousness in some of the words I said. I did apologize to him, and in my mind there was logical reasons behind my choice. Nonetheless, I do try publicly to present myself as a good, kind, caring man. But you know what? I know the value of overcoming feelings of lack and loss, and I know the cause of those feelings is within. And all these feelings can be overcome. They can be replaced. They can be alchemized. And brothers and sisters, this is what I'm offering to those who want to understand. I've been, there's been a lot of different people have come in and out of my experience. And I'm just like any of you, right? People come and go. Lots of people have different intentions with you, different desires, different opinions. But I've been faced with a lot of questioning and, to some extent, understandably, I've been challenged with the expectations of results, the standards that other people place on me. And try as I might, I haven't really overcome a lot of opinions that I've seen so far. But what I'm offering to you is just me. I've got no hidden agendas. Why I'm doing these videos, it's partially for me. I enjoy having conversations, particularly ones I can be involved with. And I know how unique our life really is, brothers and sisters. This is our life to live. Whatever life you can achieve, each of us can achieve, but it's real tough and challenging when you forecast yourself alone, doing everything all by yourself, or maybe just this real tiny, small knit community. It's doable. I mean, there's stories, man. There's some inspiring frigging characters of humanity. You can look at the ones in the streets as an example of those without shelter, and you can look at other people living without shelter who are living like adventures, man. Living in the wilderness, traveling around, discovering where life takes them. And this society, this world, the worldly conditions have taught us to, it's mistaught us many things. But brothers and sisters, what I am truly, truly trying to get you to recognize is the right now-ness, right? What you are and who I am today is a result of now. The past brought us to today, and what has worked well for the wealthy, right, for the oppressors and the controllers, what has worked well in the past is to keep us divided and afraid, right, separated, finding all these legitimate excuses to keep ourselves divided, whether it's color of skin, it's anatomical parts. It's foolishness, brothers and sisters. We are all sharing this one experience of time together. We come in at different times and we go out at different times, but the one consistency is time. Time and the true loving nature of humanity. That's what's preserved the species so far. It has not been domination and oppression. That's actually not helped the species advance. The true nature of humans, who we are, if you allow yourself just to detach and withdraw and go within, in the stillness, in the peace, in the blissness of being, there's the knowing of love. And maybe it's a distant memory, or maybe it's something you see out there, but it is love that is within you, that is shared, witnessed, experienced together here on earth, all of us. So, what I've witnessed in America and the lands that are like that is a lot of enabling, right? Enabling of substance abuse, enabling of gluttony, enabling of lust, enabling of oppression, enabling of insanity, brothers and sisters. It's literally, the state of the world is literally driving everyone insane because people don't know exactly what to believe because they were taught to be distrustful. Maybe not intentionally taught that way, but through example, people have learned a lot of unhealthy patterns. And each of us can help each other overcome the patterns, but it requires each of us to emotionally toughen up. You know, if you don't like what someone is saying that is truthful, too bad. You know, don't deny the truth. Don't make excuses or blame someone else for whatever is happening through you. And what I've found, it is challenging. No one likes to be criticized. No one likes to be wrong. No one enjoys that. Well, you know what? I'm starting to get it. I don't know. I don't enjoy the criticism and insults, but I do enjoy learning when I have been wrong, because once I learn the mistakes I've made, man, I don't repeat them. I know how to watch for them, and so I don't step in the same stupid holes again. Right? That's why I've got my bottle of whiskey here. I know it's a choice. I know there's a hole and a darkness I can go dive into. I used to feel pretty warm and comfortable, all wrapped in anger, hatred, you know, because the world just wasn't good enough for me. And then I realized all of my problems were my own, man. My own problems were my own. I chose to view them as problems. I chose to allow them to continue. I chose to allow the darkness to consume me until I recognized that those were choices I was making. And I recognized that within me there was that warmth of darkness and anger that I could build myself up with. Oh, man. It was empowering and justified. It was righteous. My standards are high for myself, for this world. But see, right next to that righteous anger is this humbleness, this forgiving compassion, this ability to receive love, the love of the divine. The love that we feel is the love that we are. The love we share is our true nature of being. Unfortunately, brothers and sisters, we got to toughen up our emotions. Start here to toughen up, right? A lot of people learn to self-control, right, through force and will, and that is noble. But man, these emotions, the spirit within, the energies, the intelligent energies that rise within us, those are our emotions. That comes from an inner knowing of what is true. So I believe I don't know that to be certain at this point. But I know I trust my feelings. And what I do is I don't try to just ignore them or deny my feelings. I try to understand them. And the best way to understand your feelings, brothers and sisters, is to allow them. With my brother lost his dear friend, there's grief, there's anger, there's feelings that each human being by design will process through in varying degrees. Okay. But one of the things I learned, and actually there's several people I know personally, online and from my memories, several people I truly care about who have lost people very close to them. And I know loss. It sucks. It's part of life. And the best way to overcome loss is to fill yourself with gratitude, right? Because even though someone you love, someone you really admire and care about, and that's one of these people that just died. Fuck. Wow. I see my own attachment is still there. So we process these feelings, but the feelings of sorrow, the feelings of lack, those are a feeling of emptiness, right? And it does create an emptiness in our mind and in our heart. We choose how full we are. We choose what to consume. You can consume sorrow for years. You can consume regret and could have, should have, didn't, whatevers. You can consume those all your life. All your life, brothers and sisters. You have free will to choose. What I'm suggesting to you, though, is that today is when you live. Today is when I live. And so I've learned my lessons. I no longer let my memories and my opinions consume my ability to feel joy and pleasure and growth today. Because the time we spend focusing on what we don't have and what's no longer here, that's replacing the time, the precious time of life in the day. So the best way to overcome a loss is to take those valuable lessons, those valuable memories, to fill you up for inspiration, for improvement, right? Because we typically grow attached and fond to those who are there for length of time, right? Familiarity. It really does build a bond. And then you bring in the family and the conditioning of, placing family above others and this stuff. Life is life. We live, we die. We can spend our time grieving and fearing death, or fucking live until it is. Because death, until you experience it, is not in your life. And admittedly, in reflection, seeing some of these people, one of my friends lost, I think his son was 24 years old, just a couple of years older than my son. Passed away. I don't know the details, but I know that kid was fucking amazing. Star. And then others, I saw loss of a mother and loss of these people close. See, in my life, that was one thing. I blessed her, whatever. I had no real closeness or losses in my life. Moving around all the time as a kid, it was like, why should I be friends? Fucking never going to see you again anyway. And then military and so on and so forth, those patterns continued for me. And then the family was what it was. But Golly geez, why am I taking you on my own memory trips? Brothers and sisters, I truly do love you. Because you, whoever you are, you're playing a role right now as another character like me in this crazy time, man. This is a crazy time of human history. And it's time for each of us. I'm looking back at the title, Toughening Up. The key to toughening up is through intentional understanding, right? Not only your feelings, but the feelings of another. Intentionally try to understand. Understand the significance or understand the attachment, understand the reasons the change is so impressive. Because change can be pretty impressive, man. It can leave us with some whoo, knock you off your feet, bring you to your knees. And I think that's kind of part of the purpose, brothers and sisters. God is amazing. God is dynamic. God is magical. God is miraculous. God is mystical. And all of those things are revealed through life. The uniqueness and the sameness, the fragileness, yet the power of life, the power of will, the strength of a man or woman. Oh man, that will power, until it's given away, it is very strong. So each of us can learn to toughen ourselves up, right? Recognize while our challenges, our darkness, our pain is significant. It's not new. Someone else has been through suffering too. I know that doesn't help the pain, but it's a reminder. We can spend our time in pain with memory, beating ourselves up with memories of trauma and regret, numbing those thoughts with the booze every night. That's what I was doing. It's a sign of insanity. Okay? And so I don't want to jump in where I don't know enough. Hey, to those of you who have made that choice regarding drinking, congratulations. Okay? And I am encouraging you, continue the pattern. What I found helpful for me was recognizing the better health that I was feeling, right? I wasn't overcoming that fogginess of a hangover, or the regret of wasted money or time. I started recognizing what I was gaining with the end of that old friend, walking away from that old friend, man. So for those of you who are working towards that, or not working towards, who have stepped in that direction, congratulations and good job. There's I've actually encountered a number of people who've been honest with me and around me about their, some of their habits, and the fact that they're getting to that point of, I'm ready to change. And here, brothers and sisters, I admit my guilt, and God, that's been a lifelong friend. But I'm prepared to walk away from my old patterns and become a better man, to try and be a better example for others, right? And that is my hope. I hope to somewhere inspire others to do more for themselves, for this opportunity of a lifetime, which is ours. There's a lot of wisdom to be found in the philosophies, the old philosophers, the Stoicism, and I don't know. My mind got transformed when I started really starting to appreciate the wisdom from others. Because I know, brothers and sisters, I know for a fact I've discovered people many others have not yet learned from or learned of. And I've also learned from a lot of people that a lot of people know some of the same. So that tells me, like Bruce Lipton and Joe Dispenza, some of these science guys that are really doing some amazing things. Rupert Sheldrake, at least on my path of discovery and the people I've been interacting with, particularly here on the platform, there's a lot of people who are learning some amazing things. And brothers and sisters, this is our lifetime. I'm encouraging you, rid yourself. Make that choice and set your own bar. What does it mean to you? But I encourage you to raise your expectations of yourself for yourself. Because as you improve your mindset, your health, your spirit, as you improve you have more confidence being you. And as you have more confidence being you feel more calm. You feel more peace. And you can really, really compare gauge yourself, your level of faith, and faith in whatever label you want. Okay? You'll find your faith and your confidence based upon your level of anxiety, hopelessness, despair, anger. Those things, those things are just signs. Those angers and all this stuff, they're not treasures to be held on to and defended for the rest of your life. You know, the patterns of thinking, self-abuse, self-limitation, or abuse of others, God forbid. Nobody wants, I truly believe that unless someone is real confused, they do not want to hurt others. That being said, I hold that is hopefully true about the citizens in the federal government, in the departments of defense, and all of this shit paying for the war machines that seem to never end. I have faith and hope that they are just confused, brothers and sisters. I know I used to be confused. Maybe I still am. Maybe I shouldn't have the hope. Maybe I shouldn't believe in peace. How do you know? How do you know what to believe in? How do you know what to stand on and to know for yourself to be true? How do you know? I've been gauging myself with intentional awareness within, recognizing that there is a pure consciousness within me. It'll tell me when I'm right or wrong. You know, I've learned the feelings of guilt. I've given up on resentment. Dude, hey, the best way to get rid of resentment, serious, stop blaming. What? Yeah, you're not going to resent someone you don't blame. Best way to stop blaming someone is to understand why. You know, was this, and just praise God, was this a unseen karmic encounter, or was this was there actual intentional harms? But we live in a world where most people really are insane. Undiagnosed does not change the definition, nor the symptoms. And the symptoms of insanity, the belief of delusion, is the belief in governance, in corruption, in evil, in those things. Those things are not, they're not healthy, truthful. They're not actual. So the truest thing to have faith in, is love, man. Joe Cool. How
That's
you doing?
good. I'm doing well, man. I got to be honest, I ain't heard nothing you said except the last 60 seconds. A lot less than that, if I'm being honest.
Respect. I
You did.
appreciate the honesty.
The first thing out your mouth, though, was dope. You said something called by a different name doesn't change it, and you were right about whatever you was just talking about. I don't remember exactly what, but that's
I
fine.
don't remember what I
You
was
said
saying
yes. You
either.
said somebody. I don't even remember what I don't know the topic, but when I came in, you said so and so. That's what Liz called me by a different name. I don't know. I'm high. How are
Oh,
you?
I was talking about delusions and insanity.
That's right.
But
Undiagnosed, calling it by a different name doesn't mean anything. That's what you said. Yeah.
that's the truth. And I was giving examples of delusions.
You
These people,
robot, man. You're robot, Jack. Is that a real thing
am
or was
I?
that me? Yeah.
I don't know. How
You're
is
back.
this?
You're back. You're back. You're
Is it
good. Yeah.
okay? Maybe when I was moving it. Thank you.
Uh,
Um, hey, for examples of delusions, I
yeah.
admit my own past delusions,
Okay.
where I used to believe that government and enforcement was the way to have order.
Yeah. I think most of us went through that shit, right?
Well, many are
We
still
bought the
clinging.
lie. We bought. Yeah. Many still believe the lie.
That's the key, man.
Yes, Malcolm X. You say it too, but Malcolm X said, "I want to teach you what I know because then you won't be afraid when you converse with these cats. Until that light that goes off and that door is opened." Uh, yeah, I know. I feel like an idiot, bro. And it wasn't that long ago for me. I'd say I don't know, about 5 years ago, I was probably still hustling. So if I saw police, yes, sir, no, sir, I was headed to the store, all that gay shit. And then open my eyes that they've been breaking the law this entire time and, treat me shitty. All this shit was illegal. And they treat everybody I know illegally. Man, I thought it was that's just how life is.
Dude.
That shit keeps sliding down.
So yeah, you played the role of a criminal and allowed the cop to play his role
Yeah,
too.
I
And
thought it was fair. Yeah.
see, this is a pretend world that has produced real corruption and
Yes,
real insanity.
yes, it is. It's a delusion.
Yes.
Right? Mass psychosis or some shit.
There's
Somebody. That's a powerful message out there that keeps a quiet microphone in your ear because you believe whatever the fuck they're putting out there.
Have you heard the term that I saw around more was mass formation? Can't remember the guy's name. He comes from a scientific academia
Background.
perspective, but
Yeah,
looking at what he calls the inner drive of fear and judgment. I'm paraphrasing
I like it.
completely
Yeah,
from him, but there's a force that brings people to allow and commit atrocities like
agree.
what happened in World War II.
Yeah,
And he breaks down the patterns,
yeah.
and dude, they're all over the patterns between what was and what is, as far as this growing evil by blind obedience.
Okay, so that mob shit, and you and him are correct. When people get together, they not. When people get together, they can do crazy shit like that Nazi shit, right? There's some type of mass
Mhm.
psychosis going on. But are you saying that has to do with what?
Propaganda and the way the media and the news and the governments have been working together, and it's a sick game, brother. The way that humanity has been, dude. The wealthy have been studying human behavior. World War II, you know how much science was advanced
Yeah,
through the study of torture and the behaviors that surrounded that?
I do. Yes. Well, I
Well,
have some idea, I should say, because I like to study that guy, the doctor. It's not coming to me. Mengele.
Mangala. Yeah.
Hitler's got Mengele. Yes, the shit he did with the kids and all of that, so he
I
advanced science, yes, but it is horrible fucking
in
things.
sick ways between that. And then I heard this Unit 17 or Unit something out of Japan during World War II.
Uh,
Apparently, there was some deal with the U.S. government. These people were doing some sick, torturous,
for us,
no, for their own
okay,
whatever dementia.
yeah,
But the U.S. made, as I understand, the U.S. government made some agreement with them that they'd pass over all their findings to our
yeah,
scientists,
yeah.
and then they wouldn't be charged with the war crimes and stuff.
They
I don't know.
hired a lot of the German scientists. How we got our the whole NASA and the moon shit. All of that came from Werner von
Yeah,
Braun,
Werner Braun, von
yeah,
Braun.
whatever that cat name is. And he was making those same missiles for the Nazis before this shit happened. And that means all of their, not just him, all of their scientists and guys who did evil shit to us and plotted evil shit were given passes when they got over here, new names, new identities, so we wouldn't fuck with them. Good jobs, all that shit, bro.
Dude, and the effects are still here because that was just a part of the process that brought, well, studying human behavior, the advancements in the propaganda, the developments of these places like Netflix and
Yeah.
yeah, Facebook and what
TikTok.
the hell? It's
That,
right there.
that's how we got here. I think of these things, Jack, when I think how do we overcome this shit.
Yes.
Um, they have a really big machine that's plugged in 24/7, and plus on their side they have the fact that we are drawn to drama. We'd rather watch hip hop housewives than something educational, so they got that working for them too. They got all these little media sites, like you said, fast bullshit to keep people's minds occupied. We have a huge task battling them. uh, I, I come up with, we use the same medium that they use. However, it doesn't, I can't necessarily see a victorious path just because we use the same way. I don't see the end result. I don't see the whole route yet. That's what I do every day. I'm practicing on that. Like I've been editing for the last couple of days straight, and I'm very aware. I am trying to battle. To enlighten some people. I just want to present them with another way of seeing things, and it'll liberate them some, in my opinion. So I feel like I'm doing a small fucking thing. Is where I'm going with that shit.
Hey Joe, yes, it's all yes, and there are some great. I think you froze again.
In fact, yeah,
There's a lot of great pieces coming together, both good and bad. All of these things, but what I've been learning, Joe, every day is a new opportunity, and the goal for me, inspire others. Please get excuses
yeah,
and blame out of your life. And then
yeah.
guess what? Now, when you have no more excuses and no more blame in your life,
What's
who
left?
do you know in federal government? Who do you know in state government, city government? Who do you know who knows some of them so that we can
What about
face and fix?
the philosophy that only small government works? I've been hearing a lot of people tout that, and there's some good reasoning behind that. Uh, because small government, that person has to see your face. You can see him all the time. He has to answer to you. The bigger the government, the more insulated he is. What do you think about that? Meaning the small guy
Yes,
is who you might want to be wooing as opposed to the big guy.
yes. Yes, I want to
Yeah.
connect to, actually, I want to connect people in the community, and people in the community include some of those in government positions, some of them in corporate positions, but we can all come together, and the best governance would be no governments. It would be self-governance,
Yes.
where each of us is self-ruled. The best way to rule oneself is to be properly educated
It
by
helps.
the community,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. You see
So,
good examples all over the place. That's what happened to the black community when the fathers all left and they were helped out. Um,
oh,
our examples were all pimps and drug dealers and shit, and these are the ramifications of that. And they're real life, and we're real people. I don't think we just get beat up and and tossed aside and called animals. The same way when white people owned slaves. I don't think they were no different. It was part of that Nazi mentality bullshit. When people come together and see people doing shit, they roll. They tend to roll with it. If black people were in that position, we'd have been the slave fucking owners, and we'd have been, doing the same shit the white motherfuckers. Not like, the color had anything to do with it. Kind of lost my train of thought at the end.
well, here, I think the best, in the past, the mob mindset, what has been conditioned into us is the development of the individuality, right? The survival mindset. We've been focused on the self.
Yeah.
Carrying around trauma brings lack and insecurities, and so then we become more selfish.
Mm,
When we change, when we heal within ourselves and we become
okay.
more complete,
Yeah.
right, Joe? When you worked on you, you found you had more to offer.
Yes, I
I'm
would agree
sure,
with that. I would agree with
right?
that. Yes, yes. I
And
thought
so,
I had it together back then. By the way, I had kept an apartment, a car, and all of that bullshit, a phone. I thought I had together. I did not.
amen.
That's
Hey,
good, Jesse.
welcome, Jesse.
Hey Jack, hey Joe.
Oh, yeah. Did you guys ever connect?
We were connecting about what?
I don't know. Did you guys ever talk?
Yeah,
Oh,
we
oh,
chatted. Yeah, we have each other's email and we chatted. He was on one of the panels you were on a while ago.
help me out. I'm
Yeah.
high. What did we chat about in the email? I mean, if it wasn't personal, because I
I
got
was
one.
just asking you about if you wanted to be interviewed, and you said you didn't do interviews. So
Oh, I'm sorry. I get a lot of those.
Jesse does the missing link. And that's actually where I
Boy,
discovered
I might have
Paul.
saw his channel though. I said it was dope. I wanted to go to his
Yeah.
channel. I probably initiated that. I remember that
Uh,
channel name. I
yeah,
remember
hey,
that.
dude.
so a lot of you were actually going to watch it on the Forbidden History Chronicles, but I got my third strike and my fourth channel
Yes, I
deleted.
remember you.
So that one's gone. So there's another YouTube channel we're on that we're just building up, and it's called The Missing Link Live.
All right.
So we're back on that, but we go live on Facebook, Rumble, YouTube, Twitter,
Oh,
Twitch, and
Jack, you got his info, Jack?
Yeah.
Can you text him my phone number when we're done?
You guys have each other's
He
connection.
said I do. He got email. I got like 10,000 emails or something. I got it
Oh,
get buried.
yeah. I'll share your number with Jesse.
Thank you. Thank
so,
you.
but
That's
I
what I
what
want.
I came on is I was listening to you guys talk about this like government and self-government, non-government, and so
Okay.
we
Yeah.
had this symbologist come on from the UK, and he's Stephen Manning, and very smart guy. He used to be a religious scholar, preacher, whatever he was, but he's kind of out that, and he's kind of going against the government. So he's really being attacked in Scotland, I believe, where he's at. Anyways, what he's talking about, he says, and he's a very smart guy, and he says the balance of nature for humans, anything over 70 people goes out of the balance. So
Interesting.
government or these organizations, or like if you're in the Hutterites,
He put a number
like the
on it. I've
Amish
never heard
people,
that.
the Amish people, what they do is once they get up to, I think it's 80 to 100 people, then they split and then they they create two colonies because it's hard for them to manage. Once it gets to a certain amount of number, then it gets out of the harmony of,
Very
you know,
interesting, bro. Super interesting.
See, there is so many different ways to look at what has been going on and different ways to look at how to solve it. So 70 is a trying to herd cats, you bring people together, man.
Even
Gotta
whether that number is accurate or not,
sure.
it's interesting that he took the courage. It took courage to put a number on it. And even if he's close or far away, it's still a tiny number. In
Yeah.
my eyes, this is the way I'm seeing it. For this to work, I would have thought thousands. He is telling me, 100 or
Down to
something,
70, yeah.
and you have to split, and that's all you can keep an eye on is 100 at a time. Never heard numbers and something I can visualize put to this.
That's interesting. I don't know.
once you get over 70 people, then that's where power struggles start to take place, where people want to start, ruling over others. This power struggle starts to, form in these organizations. And that's what causes the conflict and then, disruption in the harmony.
That's interesting, bro. When people have channels, I've noticed watching people's channels grow, when they get a certain number, say the 65, 70 average, in my opinion, they all become fucking power hungry to some degree. None would admit it. Most probably don't see it. But I see all of them fucking change with the fucking numbers thing. That's interesting. The guy who was humble the day before, I've been kicked out of many rooms where a cat would tolerate me when he's small, but once he gets bigger, he gonna put up with my shit, bro.
Hey Joe, wait till I grow.
Yeah, but you're easy to tolerate, Joe. So I don't know why people would be kicking you out. You're very intelligent.
I thank you for that, but most people don't want intelligent conversation, and these would be most people who want their narrative to go a certain way. I don't have it in me to agree with you when I don't agree. I know nothing about that. So if you're in there trying to be like, yes, and everybody chip in, we're here to save the world, and I feel like you're bullshitting, Jack will tell you, I'm gonna be like, nah, that doesn't have the ring of truth. I think you're bullshitting because you would have said, then they hate me from then on.
Hey, and actually, now that you mention it, Joe, you present an example of my title on my screen. The title of the video
I
is
didn't even
above.
read it. I just saw your name and came over.
Toughening up through intentional understanding. And I've seen Joe. He's got no problem. He's not gonna agree just because it's people are agreeing.
No.
He intentionally asks questions to try and understand why do they think this is right.
Yeah.
I've seen that.
And people hate that. They feel like I'm challenging them. I don't. I certainly am not doing it. Have no mean intentions or anything else. Just the way my mind thinks. I want to know how they got there in their thinking. What took them there? I don't know.
I respect that, and honestly, that's what each of us. If we want to understand someone, we can. It takes the intention to understand, and that includes yourself.
Okay.
So
I got you. Go ahead.
Well, I just saw in the chat. Hey, OTW, I mentioned and offered apologies earlier. I did discuss you. Please, if you're welcome, I don't like things unsettled, and I know I saw how I presented myself. Wasn't proud of it.
The more you do that shit, the easier it becomes, by the way. I encourage everybody to say I was wrong. Be quick to apologize, quick to say my bad, my mistake. It becomes easier. The more you do it, you might think I'm gonna die if people find out I was wrong. No, I'm wrong 20 times an hour, and it's no big deal.
It's really important in self-development as well to be able to humble yourself enough to admit you're wrong.
Yeah, it's just the beginning, right? It seems like there's doors that you can't even open until you're able to admit that you are wrong about a thing. Certainly, you'd never be open to criticism, right? Which is my biggest teacher. You know, even when I'm criticizing you, I'm really talking to me. If you can't criticize your fucking self, you're not open to criticism. All of those doors are closed of learning, which Jack can give me a shortcut. If he say, Joe, you interrupt too much. If I am open to listening to it, as opposed to being defensive, that's when I learn, and I'd be like, fuck, I do talk over motherfuckers a lot. And you guys can help me if I'm willing to listen.
Brother, that is the key. Developing our own self-control and the willingness to hear beyond our objection and what we don't want. Because it is humbling when we learn we were wrong. But we never... I'd rather learn I was wrong than continue going on thinking I'm right in the wrong way, in the wrong direction.
Yes.
And
there's a record.
Our own...
I should know the lyrics. There's a record I listen to all the time. I cry when I listen to this record.
Well, there's a fine line between, you know, constructive criticism and attacking, and that's where people get it twisted. You know, sometimes people think that people are attacking when they're coming from a place of love, and they're just trying to, you know, comprehend it, make it better, because there's so many out there that are just going around attacking others because they find it fun pushing buttons. So people have a hard time discerning which is actually coming from a loving place or coming from a place where they're just a bunch of jackasses just trying to poke at each other.
Yeah.
I'm getting gas. I'll be back in a sec.
All right.
All right, brother. Thank you. Hey, along those lines too, if I can, Joe, about the receiving self-criticism, there's a balance there as well, because it is real easy to beat the shit out of ourselves. Holding ourselves to standards that maybe even aren't achievable for ourselves, but it's real easy to beat ourselves up and to see the symptoms, see how you treat others. You're beating others up, you're probably pretty damn rough on yourself.
I would agree 1,000%, and I've even had that exact thought. In fact, I'm sure that I'm kinder to people when they're that way, because I know that they beat up on themselves at times, right? And I'm empathetic to it. Yeah.
You do have a great compassion and understanding of others.
It does not. I really, really love you and everybody else. I really believe this. I know it sounds weird, but I really believe that we're literally brothers like my brothers. I really believe that. So it makes it easier. Right, I've been forgiving family and shit all this time. I kind of got to be like that. As long as you cats not physically hurting me, you cats can get away with with murder. I get people call me the hard ER and all, doxing me and shit. I still don't get out of my fucking feels and shit.
I've allowed my emotions to get me pretty frustrated.
Daily, Jack, daily.
Well, my experience, I don't know.
What about this, Jack? What about this? I touched on this last time I was in here, I think or maybe it was a short time last time. Maybe it was prior time. But when certain people are in the room, there is no danger of you going to that place, or very little danger of you going to that triggered place where you're losing your emotions and shit. I've been up here with certain motherfuckers and we go forever, and that never happens. The energy has to change before that happens. I think that's interesting, man. I don't feel no chance it's gonna happen now. Dude ain't finna come out the bag and you're gonna be like, Jesse, hey Jesse. You know, it's not finna happen, bro.
Yeah, different energies, different personalities, man. We bring different dynamics forth.
Spice, right? That's the spice, Joe. That is a beautiful thing. All these people who want you to behave the same are insane. All right. Yeah. The quirks is good stuff. The idiosyncrasies, that's the good stuff. You know, yes. You know, that's what differentiates a person, you know.
Yeah, you know, what I've been learning to see is, well, I seek the good. I try to see the good in each person I deal with. And it's real easy to see the good when you can see the potential,
Yes, I love it.
right?
Yes,
And the
I've seen that.
potential,
I've seen that. I'm sorry I'm cutting you
no,
off,
please.
but I've seen that in all of you. I've seen it a flash somewhere when I'm stalking you and coming back to your shows and shit like that. It's because you may be shitty as fuck, and I tolerate a lot to get that moment. I'm that dude. I'll sit around and get abused and wait for that moment when you're that person that attracted me. As long as I'm not literally getting hurt, I don't give no fuck. I wanted to see that shit. And plus, I don't want to be talk too much here, but plus, it's my job to push that part of a person forward when they're doing well. I got to be around so I can say good job. As such.
Amen.
Yeah.
Hey, respect, Joe. Honestly, if everyone took that mindset, right? Seeing someone working towards something and just came in to offer, hey, good job, a little encouragement, you know?
I live by that. Every on the street when I'm walking to the gas
Oh,
station, you look nice today, man. Nice haircut. Nice to meet you. I'm not all the time. I'm trying to make somebody feel a little bit better. A smile, a crack a joke. I'm literally like that shit when I'm out 24. My poor girlfriend would tell you the same thing. He speaks to everybody. And she go out the gas station. She got to come back and get me because I'm chatting people up. I'm that dude, bro.
dude, I bet you're fun to hang around with. I have no
Yeah.
doubt. And you actually, I don't know, Joe, I got one of my, there's a man from my memory. He's like my brother in my heart. And I'm pretty sure he still lives in Chicago. He's kind of I don't remember what we were talking about earlier, but he came to mind. He's done, as I understand, in his path, he's done a lot of work with activism, trying to inspire some of those kids that didn't get the best impressions.
I've done
You
a
know?
lot of that, man, in my previous life. I wrote magazines, at least, I don't know, at least 3 of my own, and more than that with other people. But that's what we did. We went around and advised and helped a lot of youth and shit like that. We used to constantly went on tours in colleges and talk to graduates who were becoming teachers because our book was about inner city living. And these people who were the teachers who were going to the inner city living, they found out that this is a good way to get them to know what type of people they're going to be dealing with. So, we used to travel a lot and go to different colleges and institutions, period, even churches and shit like that, and talk to people.
No shit. Good for you, dude. I'd love. That's what I still hope to do some of that. Good for you.
I'm good at that shit too, by the way. I've been doing it a long time.
Oh man, I imagine you are. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's my other white girl.
Oh, see, dude, you're spoiled. Look at all that love around you.
I know.
Both of you, man. Both of you men are spoiled, man.
I got the horses across the street, man. I'll go over there and play with them.
Good
Yeah, it
for
was
you.
cool. That's God too. I'm not even gonna beat around the bush. I was trying to figure out a way to soften it. That's nothing but God, and that's me trying myself to chase Him and Him rewarding me. And most of the rewarding is peace, because another person could be in my same situation, be miserable. Let's always remember that, right? Yeah.
Joe, that is exactly true. And good for you for seeing that. These are lessons that I did not really respect or appreciate, that the universe will reward those who are seeking good, seeking God, right? Especially seeking God.
God is good.
Amen. Well, it's hard to believe that when you're taught to fear God. How do you fear what's good? How brainwashed is that?
Yes.
You should fear what's good. Yeah, that's how you become a fucking alcoholic.
I was talking to somebody yesterday about how successful is it there. It was Benton. I was talking to Benton a day or two ago, and I was talking about how successful is it. The devil is so happy that our main phrase slogan here is, I don't talk about politics or religion. You know, that shit, holy fuck, man. That's whoever came up with that shit, you know, that's a little V for them, man.
Yes, exactly. That's why I think that's probably why it's been in the media planting those ideas. Yeah, it's best just to avoid those conflicts.
Yes,
That way you never learn the truth.
yes, right. You'll never become brothers with that Muslim, right? One of my best friends, uh, he thinks that all people, unless they, accepted Jesus Christ and blah blah, will be going to hell. So I don't, and in my opinion, it gives him trouble accepting Muslims and others in general. In my opinion, especially Muslims, I think he's hard on Muslims. You know? He think they all, just want to kill people and blow people up. You know, the shit that's been portrayed in the media. And like the average dude is just trying to pay his bills. They think the average American over there with guns, killing us, shooting up.
Oh, we lost your audio, dude. You dropped and came back without sound again.
You get bounced off, Joe, when you get a little excited. It just bounces you off for some reason.
There it is. There it is. It's God,
There it
man. It's
is.
God. It's funny,
Well,
though. You
hey,
guys know.
yes, people imagine and enable a lot of blame amongst each other, creating all these divisions.
Agreed.
The Christians hate the Muslims hate the
Yes.
whatever, you know.
Yes. Blame other people.
And it's up to each of us to learn how to accept, right? How to understand, how to connect,
Yeah.
how to love. We're here to learn love. I honestly believe that.
Yes. And your
'Cause it
boy,
makes
Aaron said, what is something love? What do you call that? Something love where a person
honeymoon.
unconditional love.
Yes.
Unconditional love is what he said. He threw a word in there. He said unconditional love.
Yes.
I thought that struck me, bro. I think of that all the time now.
I keep leaving that off, but when I'm talking about love, that is what I mean, is that love without conditions, that love without limits, without limitations, that love that will take you off your feet, that will surprise you, that will transform your life.
Yeah. And I think from that experience I had, I think that the love over here is minuscule. And you think you love your mom and your kid, and you do, but over there is love on on a whole different level that that you feel.
I've been blessed to come across some truly inspiring messages of love about what you're saying. The love that is there on the other side of the veil, that is just here for us, from the ancestors, from the angels, from the Creator itself. This love is just there waiting to serve us.
Yeah, and it would seem that they got a saying: you take one step toward God, He take two steps toward you. It would seem once you learn to love motherfuckers, then once you learn that shit and you don't start practicing it, you love everybody. You're looking for reasons to love a motherfucker as opposed to hate them and discard them. You're looking for good shit.
It feels better.
It feels better.
Fuck yes.
Yes. Hey, in that sense, you got to be bulletproof too, because you're gonna get burned more. You're gonna run into more crazy people, have more crazy exes, run into more motherfuckers that when you're not so exclusive about who you hang out with and show love to, right? You'll get hurt more. It's part of the game.
You can, and that's part of the risk. And life has no safety guaranteed.
Right.
So we're here to push the limits, and if it's in the direction of love, Man, to share
Yeah,
love, even if I get hurt and someone receives some love and memories
yeah,
of love,
right.
you know, I guess that's my path. I
Yes,
got faith.
yeah. You think about it, I was looking at the disciples and the face that they met, cut in half, decapitated, crucified upside down, burned. This is horrible shit. If you're gonna chase them, you probably got a little of that incoming in your life. That no one, he say the path is narrow. No one wants to hear this shit. People would rather you not talk about it because it makes them uncomfortable. It's going to remind them of themselves that I got to get on the ball where I'm lacking. Every time this nigga come around, he reminds me of my inadequacies. With all that's going to happen anyway.
Yeah. Joe, and what you're saying is true. My words and my behavior. Admittedly, I know in the past I came on strong when I shouldn't have. I spoke when I should have shut up.
Yeah.
Um, I made paths. I made, you know what? I've developed a lot over the years, and I'm not ashamed of what I'm growing into.
Yeah.
So,
You got to be willing to look foolish often. So
yes,
I heard this guy say the other day, no football running back broke a record on his first day. He failed and looked foolish a long time before he got that good. Be willing to look foolish. That's your big priority, big goal. Be willing to look foolish. That's how you get good at anything. If you're afraid to look foolish, you're afraid to try a thing because of how you'll look. Like with women, it's been my approach with women forever. And I'm telling you, my shit's right. I'm shit up. I was about to start bragging. I don't have a line or anything, and this go for whatever. I immediately throw myself in that way. If she's attractive, I don't ask questions. I get up out my chair and start walking that way, and something better hit me before I reach her. Right? It's the same thing with the cops or whatever. I don't have a plan, but I'm gonna throw myself. I'm gonna make myself do that thing today, and we'll see how it fucking goes, man. No one wants to
I
walk into a police station or a public building knowing that motherfucker like, hey, what's you on that camera, man? And knowing they have the authority to lock you up and the courts are going to back on. Nobody wants to do that bullshit.
hey, good for you for pushing it. You made it. You made it to your destination. I'm assuming, Jesse. Thanks for.
Yeah, I was just going to get some gas. I saw this little article pop up on the phone that in my city, gas is going up 2 cents a liter, and other cities are going up 6 cents a liter, and at a little less than quarter tank. So I checked out the gas prices and found that Costco is usually the cheapest gas for us is
Yeah.
to go to Costco because I have premium on my car, and
Okay.
so I have to really watch and kind of.
Costco has a card, right? As like one of those big group stores or something.
Yeah, you need
Yeah.
a membership card in order to
Membership.
shop there.
All right. Yeah. Same out here, same in Chicago anyway. I'm in Colorado right now, but we got the big superstores and they got their own gas stations. I didn't even know that. I don't know if they got them where you are, but they have big ass gas stations. You just drive your car in, use the card, the same as you would any other gas station.
Yeah, but you
Massive.
have to have the card to get gas
Yeah,
there, and
yeah,
there's no
yeah.
cash. All there is just you need your debit card or credit card.
Sam's Club is one that they use over here all the time.
Yeah,
There's good and bad to all these things, but this, honestly, the if you look at the way humanity has developed, the reliance upon the vehicle resulting in the reliance upon the fossil fuels, the
Yeah,
rubber industry, all of this stuff, man,
yeah,
it's like, holy crap, when are we going to stop and
yeah.
say, whoa, What happened to these other ideas, these better
The
ideas that are
system
available?
is not set up to allow you to stop, right? If you come up, surely if you came up with a car that runs off water, you'd be killed. If you came up with a way to deliver energy, they'd catch you having sex or cheating on your wife and use it against you, so that that never comes. You never ever to shoot at. You got to make a deal with them, and they'll keep it suppressed. Anybody that's voicing that shit, any real independence from food or so on. So they have a million laws where you can't grow your own food, you can't build your own home, you can't do nothing without us. The system is not set up for the person who's learned and said, you know what, I'm gonna do it alone. Because they're gonna be like, did you get the right permit? I didn't say you could build a 2-story house. We don't allow. Yeah. Yeah, it's not set up. You need their permission to do everything, and they don't give it willingly to the person who wants to be independent.
Okay, you're absolutely right, Joe. That is how it has been. But I know, here's what I trust. We're here to rewrite those rules.
I love it, and I agree with it.
And there's people right now today.
Well,
It's the middle
oh,
of the
Jack,
week.
let me jump in. This might be a little shit starting shit, but it's
Yes,
perfect
please.
timing. All right. We're here to rewrite those rules.
Amen.
I'm afraid that you're looking. I do not want to criticize you. That's not what this meant. I don't want to trigger you to nothing. But it looks like you're more reliant on talking someone else into rewriting those rules as opposed to doing them yourself. I think that looks like you doing. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Partially true. Okay. Partially true, because in reality, sitting here in Spokane, Washington, I can't change any rules. Now, telling someone to do what I want them to do, I'm not into that either. I'm into leading the people, maybe offering these inspirations that, hey, fellow members of Congress, brothers and sisters,
that's one way. Yeah. Opening someone's mind that could lead to the change. That's always a path. And you got to do that daily. And I think we all do that daily. But I also believe that there's something, and you got to put in, it sucks, but you got to put in a lot of physical face to face. Like a lot of these people, I don't even use the phone, Jack. I come to your house in different states. You got to put in that footwork, right? If I'm not editing for 8 hours a day, I'm on the streets for 8 hours a day. I think you got to do that shit. And out there, you're gonna put in that word still, but now you're actually putting a chance. Feeding the homeless, it's a real thing. I'm in Colorado, man. We ride to Denver usually every weekend. I haven't done it since I've been here this time. And we feed the homeless, and we hit it hard. I got so many people. I'll spend a couple of days with this guy, that guy, because they all got a homeless things where, give them clothes, food, cook for them every Sunday. That's a real fucking thing. Now you're changing the rules. Let me give you examples. I know I'm talking long. Let me get an example on that homeless line. My guy, his name's Eric Brandt, a buddy of mine. He's locked up now. Him and some friends of his started feeding the homeless on the 16th Street Mall. The rule was you can't do that. Too many nice businesses out here. They did it every Sunday. They started calling the police on. They battled the police. It's all documented online on their channels from years ago when they began the fight against these fucking police. They called cases and shit. Slowly, the businesses came around and decided they were going to support them. And now it's butter. When you go out there, everybody's lined up and all of that shit. They changed the rules, did it themselves. They didn't, go ask permission to go talk nobody into nothing.
Same thing happened here in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, with Pastor Arthur and his street church. So he's been feeding homeless people here in Calgary, Alberta for 20 years now. Every single Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, 3 days a week he goes. And so how I ran into them, I decided I wanted to feed some people. So I made a big, giant pot of stew and got some little bowls and spoons. And I went downtown and I was just going to go feed some people with the biggest pot like you can imagine. And then all of a sudden I see these tables lined up and there's a whole bunch of people and they're feeding people. And I'm like, whoa, I'm like, this is perfect. That's the first thing I ran into.
Wow.
And I'm like, I didn't even know who they were or what they were. And I was like, and I'm like, hey, I'm like, do you mind if I put my stew down here and help you like feed these people? And they're
That's
like, yeah,
God.
no
Yeah, that's
problem at
God.
all. And they're like, but can we pray over you? I'm like, yeah, I love
So
prayers. Go ahead, pray. And so I started feeding all the people and got to know the people and things. And then so I started doing this every week. I was like, this is great. I'm like, it's a way that I can give back, make a whole
yeah,
bunch of food and, you know, feed these people. And then all of a sudden
bless you.
one day they had their barbecue was breaking and they're like, yeah, we have the barbecue, we're having a little bit of issues. And so I have quite a lot of supporters on social media. So I took some pictures and I said, hey, I'm feeding these people. They broke down their barbecue. Does anyone mind donating? All of a sudden people sent me a whole bunch of money and I bought them a new barbecue with all the money that they
God is
spent.
good, baby.
So yeah, so we were doing this, you know, quite often.
Let me can I if you can hold your thought, let me interrupt you a little bit. Doesn't it seem like once you venture out and you took that small step of going out there, God seems to have a way of making it go for you, right? All you gotta do
Yes,
is walk
making it.
out that door.
Doors are always opening. You just have to have the courage to walk through and just move forward. There's
Yes,
always signs coming from the universe.
yes,
Doors are
yes,
opening, doors are
yes.
closing. Just don't be afraid and walk
Figure
through
out,
life with no fear. Like Jack says, live with no fear. And then, you know, you'll flow through life and you'll be
get
put
up,
in places where you are meant to be put.
you get up out that chair and you walk toward that woman and you don't know what you're gonna say. You get up and you walk and you see what comes to you along the fucking way, man. You get
Mhm.
up out that chair, you spin and you fucking walk every time. You walk toward that door every fucking time. You know, I kid with some of my buddies out here. I tell them that I never say no. Some obscure fucking can fucking leave something in the comments, and if they're serious, I'll pop up at their door and you know, fucking 14 hours away just for a conversation. Go to a restaurant, get something to eat, and move on to the next fucking other. Never say no. I never fucking say no, man. I don't come up with an excuse. I get in the car and leave before I can come up with an excuse. Yeah, fuck yeah. I'm coming that way anyway. I'm gonna be in Arizona. I'm trying to, you know, yes. I don't know which meeting is gonna result in the big deal signing. You got to go to a bunch of bullshit meetings. Everyone can't be that bomb meeting. You know, you got to
Yeah.
try a bunch of them.
Hey, all of this stuff is lessons I didn't realize. I in hindsight, I had the regret of missed opportunities, and that's a choice I will not live like that anymore.
For
I
sure.
will live without regret, and one of the regrets I know I can avoid is by not trying. You know,
Yes.
as long
Yes.
as I try,
Yeah.
I won't regret missing it. And here's the key though that really is important is paying attention. Because what Jesse is saying, what Joe's saying, the universe will reveal these opportunities to you
Yeah. Pay
uniquely in
attention. Yeah.
your life. If you're looping in your head about your
I
memories or
can't do
creating
it because
some
of this. I
argument,
can't do it because that. Last time that I was in that situation, so and so hurt me. If you're coming up with all these excuses, these things will never be revealed. The opportunity will never present
People
itself.
get in their own way.
Yeah.
People get constantly are getting in their own way. They stop their own progress and then seem to want to put the blame everywhere else besides
Agreed.
themselves when they're the ones that are hindering it.
They've gotten good at it. They do it so much. They have a ready-made excuse for every fucking thing, and all those excuses involve someone else other than them.
I used to be guilty of that and I didn't even recognize it. I wasn't putting names, I was blaming systems, right? And all of
I
these
might still be
systems,
there. I'm getting scared. I still blame a lot of systems for a lot of shit.
But we're all having to deal with these broken systems, right? Like it's the matrix is real. It's a broken system that everybody, unless you're completely off grid where you don't have to deal with, the matrix, you have to deal with it one way or another. So we just have to flow through it as smoothly as possible without causing too much friction and conflict, unless you like friction and conflict. Some people, that's who they are and what they like. So they just go and cause as much friction and conflict as they can because it invigorates them, but causes a lot of issues in other areas.
Yes. Usually those people are most happy when they causing that shit in your life. They don't like it so much in their own lives. They like causing it in other people's lives. They don't want friction in their own lives.
These are the characters that have been adapted, right? Kind of a survival mechanism. You shift blame, and then it distracts from the self.
Yes.
Hey guys, let me welcome OTW.
What's up, baby?
Yeah, I'm here to cause mischief and
here comes the chaos.
Mischief and chaos just entered the room.
Good to see you.
What's going on?
Good evening, gentlemen.
My mind wandered. Where were we at?
Mischief and chaos. Jesse.
Yeah, we were exactly talking about how people at the last shit was how people flow through life, creating mischief and chaos. That shit.
Creating conflicts because that's what people learn. This is what I realized, man.
Agreed.
This life we are living, it is truly, it's amazing. And we never know what someone else has been through. We don't know what's currently consuming their thoughts, currently consuming their energy.
Yes. We're pretty understanding when right? When you hear you're rude to somebody and you hear, oh, she has a brain tumor or something, suddenly you become understanding. Like you just said, you don't know what people are going through. Be more the fuck understanding.
Well, and normal people offer understanding. Yesterday, I showed an example of abnormality, of unhealthy. I showed a disregard and a care for a moment. And the words have been offered. There was no ill intention, but this is what people do often without thinking things through. We do things maybe with good intentions, just a stupid mind, right? Not thinking things through.
Like we said before, the mind, usually you get in your own way, and the mind's the mind that does that. Unless you're living intuitively, instinctively, where you're not letting the mind control who and what you are, then, most likely these thoughts creep into your head, and, you got, it's like the angel and the devil, and, you have these good thoughts and you have maybe these not so good thoughts, and, which one do you feed?
When they say we battle huge numbers of evil spirits in the unseen world, that's what I picture. Those good thoughts and bad thoughts. The bad ones are the demons that I'm battling.
That really is the truth. You're muted, OTW.
Said that's what the mirror's for. Now I get it, Joe.
See myself.
It's to catch your thoughts there and make sure they come back to you if ever you lose them. Yeah, I understand the whole paradigm now. I get the mirror.
But that's what everybody is the mirror, because with the energy you put out, that's what's coming back to you, right? It's, that's the law of karma, the law of the universe. What
Check
you
it
put
out,
you usually get back.
I saw one person take it a step further. He said that it's one step beyond that. The mirror just doesn't reflect the evil, was the word he used. It just doesn't reflect evil. It creates it. I thought that was interesting. It ain't just, you look at it, you get what you. Even anyone, if you look into that evil mirror too long, it will create that in you. whether you're putting it out or not. It will create it in you somehow. Meaning you'll see an evil thing too long, you can become evil, man. That's why you do everything sparingly. Yeah.
Well, to bring that into my favorite topic, you know, the reformation and the change of the past systems. Joe, in the past, it's been proven the revolutionaries, they often become tyrants themselves, or they revolt and then find, you know, start making excuses to support continuing things that work.
Yes, every black leader I've ever had, from everyone. Yes, even Obama. Yes, everyone. They might have had good intentions, and in the end, they've made excuses of why Jesse Jackson is selling out and getting paid X amount of $100,000 for an appearance at the KKK rally.
Excuses built our friggin' economy, right? It's seriously, this America has lowered its standards, and it's my belief America was founded for the purpose, with the intentions of being the example of freedom for the rest of the world.
Yeah, that probably went out the window quick, though.
Well, I think the rest of the world is still watching American news, American politics with hope. Are these guys going to get their people under control?
I've lost hope in American fucking politics and American media. There's nothing to be gleaned there. It's done.
Yeah, same for me for Canada. It's like,
well, Americans are very poisoned. They're poisoned everywhere, but very drugged up and very poisoned, whether it's through all the chemicals in the food, the air, the water, pesticide preservatives, all the pill poppers, drug users, right? But it's the difference between drugs and medicine, right? You know, there is medicine, which it's natural. I don't consider that as drugs.
Yeah, there is. My guy would tell you, don't drink too much pineapple juice and orange juice. That's medicine. You know, he didn't even go that far, right? I was like, I never thought of that.
Food is your medicine. What you put into your temple, that's what you're going to get out.
Yeah, you're right. I got to do better.
And it's not just America, it is Canada. And I trust in Europe, too. There's a lot of poisons in the news, in the media, in the education systems, in the food, in the air, in the water. There's no escape from the toxicity.
You know, the expression, you know, you are what you eat is really, really relevant in this case, in all cases, actually, because whatever you consume, whether it be, you know, on a screen or you know, what you listen to, music, everything you eat. So whatever you consume becomes you, right?
Thank you. Very good.
So whatever you focus on, also you become.
We're manifestors.
Thank you. I love it. I love that.
Whatever you ingest, whatever you think about, whatever you create your own world. We are the center of our own universes, and everybody is their own center.
And you know what? What I want to see, what I hope, what I believe in is a world of kings and queens, where we are dignified in our own self-governance, where we share our rulership, we abide by each other, and we help raise each other's kingdoms. Help us all become, you know what? If we want to all know God better, we'd all have more faith. And if we all had more faith, we'd all have more peace. And if we all had more peace, I think we'd all have more fun. Because life, man, I think our creator is love, and love is fun. It's mysterious. It's powerful. Love can confuse us. But we are the one. We are the one time of this time with the ability to express and share our love, our wisdom, our talents, our creativity, our generosity. That's the key of life, guys.
I do believe that you'd have to add a little bit of ambition in there too.
I like it.
The ambition is to become the best version of me, to create the best world that we can share and experience.
Check out ambition in a more regular sense, the way he said it. the ambition that I have ambition with this cop watching shit, and I love it, which is kind of like what Jack was saying. I love what I do. Fuck, I'm finna lose my train of thought. Fuck it, it's gone now.
It's okay. It's in the mirror. It's in the mirror. Just wait till it comes back, man.
The thoughts loop. They'll come back, reinforced.
Just look up. Just look up, Joe. It'll come back to you.
The mirror doesn't reflect evil. It creates it. No.
Hey, no, the ambition, the desire, the intention, the purpose, all of those things. You know, once we imagine a desire and a goal, then it comes down to the self-discipline.
I got you. You were talking about discipline. Love makes you happy. Then he said ambition. And I was trying to say ambition makes you happy. It certainly makes me happy. When I'm putting in a ton of hours, I'm the happiest as a fucking lark. You know, I feel like I'm doing something positive.
Amen. I think when we find our purpose, have a purpose for our time, and especially if it's something that may be rewarding, growing ourselves or growing a relationship with another.
Yes.
Dude, we get lost in time. And that's why we're here. The eternal life.
We get lost in time, yeah.
Here, the eternal life that we're here to seek, to discover the kingdom of heaven. It's to become one with the beingness of now. Because right now is the only time we can live. Now is when we can know the Creator in this form. So settle into now. Be grateful for the opportunities, for the tasks scheduled for yourself in the moments ahead, and see what my life started changing, and I've become deeper and deeper convinced in the meanings of these words. But
hold on.
Life is an adventure. The best way to survive and overcome adventures is to adapt, to learn, to discover, right? Maybe to push the boundaries of what used to be.
Oh, I missed that last part, and I had something to add to it.
Feel free.
I forgot. You know, I'm getting high. My girl told me something. She said they're cooking tacos, and I just lost every fucking thing.
It's okay.
Dude, tacos.
It's Jesse's fault.
No,
it's
dude.
The guy that's not saying anything, just being quiet and pretty. You know, it's like it's his fault.
Right. He's casting spells on us.
Well, the kingdom, like you were saying, the kingdom of heaven is within you. You know, you can either make it the kingdom of heaven, or you can make it the pit of hell. And you know, it's your choice. It truly is. It's how you decide to put your energy into the universe.
It seems that way, right?
Yes.
I would agree.
Hey, and the kingdom is ruled by a ruler. Within us, that is the only place we truly can rule. And the idea is to take within the throne of your rulership and bring in the Christ, the spirit of the Christ within you, or the Buddha, the loving carnation that's available. And if love is ruling your inner kingdom,
you'll be okay.
Then in the rest of the world, you're starting from a place of peace. And so then within your community, you lead. You lead with service. You build up your community to make your community stronger and greater and larger. And we help grow the community with people we can trust by helping them gain control within their own inner kingdom.
Do we agree that the best way to learn is through example? Someone can tell you something, that's one thing, but actually watching a motherfucker do it, or someone showing you.
I don't think there is a best way. I think people learn in so many different ways. That's a great way of learning.
All right, let me rephrase.
We'll learn in multiple different ways.
Let me rephrase. Better than a person telling you is better to learn it and experience for yourself. We'd agree with that.
No,
Agreed.
because sometimes you don't want to go through some of those things that maybe someone has learned some wisdom through. So they're going to tell you about that experience, and maybe you can learn and not have to go through the trenches like they had to go through.
Yeah,
That's
I
a
don't
good
know.
point. Learning
But-
from the
But that
pain.
wait, hold on a sec. But that person will never be able to explain it like the person who
That's
lived
where I
it.
was going to go. It may not be the best way because you didn't go through it and you don't get what you get when you went through the actual thing.
But not everybody needs to go through those trenches.
Yeah.
Not everybody needs those
We weren't talking about
lessons.
needs, so we were talking about what's the best way, what's the better way, right? It
But
may be
here-
best.
Sorry.
Well, let's
Joe,
use a simple
you're-
analogy here. How about a flat tire?
Okay.
Well,
Yes. Is it
back
better to
to
watch a nigga change one or for somebody to tell you over the phone how to change one?
right. Life experience is the best teacher. But what I get totally what Jesse is saying is that
I do as well. Yes.
okay, so if we're doing a comparative of which is better, we got to bring into context what
Okay.
under what purpose. What is the comparison related to? Now, if talking about improving the world, nobody needs to go through the darkness of alcoholism and suicidal thoughts like I went through in order
Is
to
that
learn from me.
true?
In
Is
order
that
to
true?
learn, Joe, in order to learn from one another, all we have to do is understand.
You may be right, man, but I'm not preaching with the same conviction if I ain't been through fucking doing heroin for 30 years. Hearing it
Fair
from
enough.
someone who says, I'm telling you, you shouldn't do
Yeah.
heroin, it's bad. It's different from a motherfucker who be like, dude, I was out there selling my ass on the street at 4 in the morning. It's different.
Correct.
But the
Now, if
results
you
are the
want-
same, though.
No fucking way. No.
The message
100%.
is-
If a person's coming, if a person
Yeah.
is having some kind of a resolve, it doesn't matter if you've gone through it for 30 years or you've just seen others go through it or you've
Yeah.
just read about it in a book. If you're trying to help someone, be away from it, it doesn't, the impact may be more if someone that's gone through it, but if the intention is in a good place to help that person, then it doesn't matter how much life experience you have in that. If your intention is good and you just want to, be there, comfort them, be there for them through whatever they're going through.
Yeah.
I
kinda
don't like
agree
that
with both
better
of them.
word because every situation is different, and you can't, even with the car tire analogy, not everybody's going to have that education or somebody showing them or someone there with them. They might need to call somebody. Hey, I've never changed a tire before. Is it better if they would have got that? Well, maybe it would have been, but not everybody has that luxury when it just comes to situations.
I think
that
we're
pop up
talking
in their
about
life.
two different things. I agree with everything you say after you say I'm wrong, right? Everything you say after that, everybody needs to do this. Everybody has a luxury. I agree with all those things, but I'm a fan of better. Better helps you fucking learn quicker. It helps you every fucking time. Better helps you better prepare the next guy when you gotta tell him or give him advice. I'm a fan of better. I want to fucking do everything better. Yeah.
To be, to agree with Jesse, I'd have to say better is also the enemy of good, though.
Oh, I love it. I love it. All right, I got to wrap my head around it first.
Do you want to explain that, OTW?
It. Yeah, explain it. Help me.
What do you mean? If I want, well, better is the enemy of good, because if everything was just good enough, then nothing would have to be better.
I love it. It makes sense. All right. I may be wrong in all that shit I said. Then maybe good should be good enough.
Exactly. That's my whole point.
Yeah,
good should be good enough.
Yeah.
Hey, especially in this realm of learning, because what I've seen happen so much in our society is people don't listen. They don't listen because I don't have a title. I don't have, big bank account. I don't have whatever.
The Bible says that, Jack. You're a fan of the Bible. It says no one respects a poor man's words. No one lets that word to come out of his mouth. You got to bring something to the table. You can't get around the rules. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, no, the problem is
the guy's looking on the ground going, man, what am I going to do? I can't get around the rules. Sorry, Jack.
But I don't mind the better word because every day I look to be a little better today than I was yesterday. I don't look to be a little gooder today than I was yesterday. I look to be a little bit better than yesterday.
How about just being good yesterday, good today, and good tomorrow?
Love that too.
There
I'm
you
a
go.
flip flopper.
create
Now I'm a fan of better
stagnancy.
again. I'm a flip flopper.
He's gone from good to better. He doesn't know where he's fucking. Jump in the mirror, Joe.
All
Smoke
right.
another bowl, Joe.
This is so good. I think I
Jack,
will.
what's on your mind?
Well, the conversation, I kind of lost track of where it was going because the comparative of which one is a better way to learn. What I was trying to say is, in today's society, everyone makes excuses why not to learn from someone, and all that does keeps them ignorant.
Oh, you're 1,000% accurate with that one, bro. Right? It's easy when you throw a label on a motherfucker. He's a drug dealer, gangbanger, drug user, whatever the fuck. Now I cannot learn anything from him, so I can disregard that motherfucker. I can dismiss him and his ideas. Yeah.
Yeah, but that is so untrue, though.
That's absolutely it's not true.
No, because I've learned things from people who've been at the rock bottom and taught me things that actually fed me for years. You know what I mean? Taught me how to work, how to do things. And these people were freaking stuck on cocaine and drugs. And they literally work every single day to end up coming into work the next day with $0 in their pocket. And they get paid every single day. And it would be insane the amounts of money, which would be absolutely incredible for a normal person would go like, oh my God, I could have went like to Mexico with that kind of money. That's like, and you don't have any more. You don't even have $5 for gas. And goes, nah.
We used
Are you
to work
serious?
out
I
there.
have to buy you coffee this morning? Yeah.
I remember working at the end of the workday. Everybody, well, some people are counting up their money, and some people don't even have money for squares or a meal after. And I'm counting hundreds. I'm talking about working out there, hustling, and some motherfuckers only have money for a pack of squares or something to eat at the end of the night. I got to put my money on the ground. It's so much money to count it.
Dude, I've seen people make $600 in one day, no problem, an 8-hour shift, and come into work the next morning with $0 because he puffed it all night.
Well, this is why I didn't like to pay any of my people until Friday, because if you pay them on a Tuesday or Wednesday, you don't know if they're going to show up the Thursday or the Friday.
These guys show up for these guys show up for work next day.
No, a lot of people that I've come across, a lot of people that I've hired over the years, whenever you pay them, all of a sudden you don't see them for 2, 3, 4 days till they blow through that money, and then as soon as they run out of that money, they need to come back because they want to.
I've heard that all my life.
That's what I'm saying. The guy that I worked with is like one particular person. He would actually have zero money the next day, and he wouldn't have a choice but to come into work because every single day that money would just disappear.
Wow!
And it's like holy shit. And he was like steadfast right there, ready to go to work, 5 o'clock in the morning, all ready to go, man. I'm going to get my bread and come back and get high again. It's like, what a routine, man.
I ain't gonna bullshit you. I'm still in my head thinking which way is better. Is it better that I actually did drugs and learned from it that way, or is it better had I just listened when a motherfucker told me don't fuck with drugs?
There's
I'm still
woulda, shoulda,
throwing
coulda.
that back in
But
my head.
it's not a woulda, shoulda, coulda. You don't want to look back in the past. What it is done, and it's what you do with that knowledge from here.
Mm-hmm.
This is absolutely.
Yeah, I agree.
See, and that comes back to what I've been saying often. What do we do with what we've learned? Okay, right. And this topic of people rejecting, learning because of their opinions of me is actually something I'm still trying to overcome.
I think we're all in that same fucking boat, man. That's a real thing, man. I can't get no progress. These cops, it's fucking white people. I'm black. It's a real thing that white motherfuckers think they have some fucking authority. White motherfucker tell you, where's your ID? What the fuck? They think they have some fucking authority, man. It's just a real thing. Everybody deal with that shit, Jack. I'm
Well,
saying
the things I'm
it's not
talking
just
about,
you who I'm sorry, it's not just you who got to deal with motherfuckers who think you're less than them when you're trying
I
to
know.
present your ideas. Cops think I'm dumb. You can't tell me my job. What law school did you go to? All that bullshit because I'm less than them. And you get the same shit among racial lines. I'll be with my white friend. I'll ask a question. They'll tell the answer to the white guy next to me, like it was over my head or something. That shit is a real thing.
I believe it. Well, what I'm talking about with me, though, is, I spend a lot of time alone. It's a blessing and a challenge at times,
Right.
but
Yeah, I'm sure I can see that.
I'm offering, like, I feel the personal relationship and the understandings I've gained of myself and this world we live in with God are, I thought people might be welcome to receiving some of these things, but so far,
Are you whining about being disappointed? Is that what I'm hearing?
nope.
All right.
But
Nope.
that's the whole programming. Everybody's been programmed generation after
Yes.
generation to not accept it, to not feel it, to not want to, comprehend where people are coming from. It's the whole divide and conquer tactics that's been going on for hundreds, if not thousands
I'm
of
with
years.
dude. I assume the battle is hard. People are dumb, unwilling, full of baggage. I assume that going in, it's hard to disappoint me because I expected you to fuck up. No, I'm not disappointed. When my best
But
friend
you
cut
know
my
what?
throat, I expect it. And it don't stop me. It don't slow me down. I still do what I got to do.
Careful creating those expectations, Joe, because new things happen and
Hey, last
there's
night
something amazing. Go ahead, Jeff. What?
I said last night I got to experience bed caught.
Oh my God.
Say
Oh my
what?
God.
Yeah, it's maybe the one and only time I've not seen Jack in front of a fireplace. I called him. He answered the call, and it was pretty dope. And he had a bed. He was bed caught.
It was bedtime, and I got a late night call from Mr. Pizer. Yes,
Fascinating.
Fascinating. It was.
life is fascinating. And
It was a good conversation, don't you think, Jack?
Jack, I think you can end the show now. I think we've got the word of wisdom. We saw the bed caught.
Yeah,
this was
you hit
perfect. See y'all later.
Yeah,
This
you
is
hit the accumulating
where
point
can we
right
go
there.
from here? Yeah.
It's all downwards from here now.
No, we got bed caught, dude. Bed caught's it was a good caught.
Hey, actually, I have toyed with the idea of trying to do this at different locations. I've toyed with a lot of different ideas, but I'm not complaining. It's hard to know what direction you go when you don't have other people to even bounce ideas off.
Here,
So,
you just bouncing that idea off of a people. Here's my opinion. Do some broadcast, some from outdoors, different location. You just bounced it off. You just got some feedback, and it's good feedback. I'm telling you.
yeah, now I just got to figure out logistics and
No, my girl, you figure
Any other
nothing. You walk
detail.
out the door, you get up out the chair, you go talk to that chick. You figure out logistics on the fucking route. You feel me? Tomorrow you say I'm sorry.
Hey, there's a portable kit,
okay.
Jack.
We love the
Listen
passion,
to this.
Joe.
Hold on a sec. Jack, there's a portable kit that they sell on Amazon that I was looking into buying, right? It's got an integrated battery on it, and it's got a whole pad with you have a special effects. You've got the mic with the stand that comes with it. It plugs either into your phone or a laptop, which is amazing, either iPhone or Android. And what else does it come with? Oh yeah, you have the special effects bank inside that little pad that comes with it. So yeah, you can have either an echo in your voice, or you can have like the bombs dropping, the crowd applauding, the crowd laughing, and you can also program it. So
what do you mean plugs in? Because all the phones don't have any more phone head jacks. They don't have any more plugins. You'd have to do it by Bluetooth unless you got an older phone.
No. This one, the iPhones have adapters where you can plug in the audio
Oh, they
I
still
got
do because Samsung lost those. Can't replace the batteries. There's no more memory cards. There's no more headphone jacks. You can't plug anything in except for your actual into your
charger.
charging port is the only
Check this
plug
out.
in
I
now.
got a splitter on my phone right now. It's an iPhone, and that's how I have headphones and charge at the same time. There is only one port. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder sometimes, like, because I listen to my Bluetooth like all day long, like just listening to these podcasts and stuff, and I wonder if there's some weird fucking frequency that's fucking me up
That's
just
dope.
from always having that in, like
Yeah.
they say 5G could fuck with you, and
Yeah.
I don't
That's
know, just
interesting.
having that in your ear all day, every day.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
sometimes wonder, like, does that fuck with my frequency or fuck with my brain? I don't know.
It seems
So
logical to me. I ain't gonna bullshit you.
how Joe has got a cord to each ear, it's a lot
Mm.
different than the ones that go in each other's ear because it doesn't have a transmitter in each one to the phone. Only one transmit, and then signal goes through your brain. So if you've got a corded one like Joe has, it's a lot better than those earbuds because that
Yeah.
actually the signal goes through your head.
Yeah, that's what I feel like.
That's fucked up.
Well, see, here's where I think collectively we can help each other understand better. There's been a lot of advancements in technologies, a lot of products brought out and put into the marketplace that have not actually been really looked at as far as the effects it may have on biology.
Of course.
So
yeah.
I think right now, I mean, the problem is in the solution. The solution is we all need to know more. And the best way we can know more is when we end the corruption of our corporations and our governments. When we start coming together for the future.
Yeah.
What I've learned, kind of to bring this around too, with the topics of toughening up through intentional understanding, the changes life can bring, through growth, through loss, through pain, through blessings. This intentional understanding to know oneself, it is critically important for your life, for your success. Is you must know you, what you do, why you do, why are you the way you choose to be. And with intentional understanding, we can recognize that what has built the past, what brought us to today, we don't have to carry the past around. We don't have to take the past from the past and throw it into the future and say those pains are going to be tomorrow. I'm saying we can learn from the past. We can find gratitude and peace in one another, finding the good and the potential in one another, sharing the love, the encouragement, the inspiration to help raise each other up.
We reprogramming ourselves. It sounds like that's what I'm hearing.
Amen.
That's how you're going to overcome that old programming. Start reprogramming yourself now by doing these things Jack's talking about.
Rewrite the rules, Joe. That's what I'm saying. To rewrite the rules of the greater, of the macro, we got to rewrite the rules within, right? I stopped allowing myself to believe in self-imposed limitations. I stopped giving a lot of weight to excuses and imagined failures. Because I think the potential of changing the world is now. I think it's here. I think it's really part of us.
Yeah.
And if there is
what's that? You got to start by emptying your cup before you fill it up again.
I like it.
The world did that for me.
I wasn't saying that to you particularly, Jack. I was saying that in general.
For others, yes. But actually, please learn from my experience. You don't have to go through the loss of everyone you love and your career and all of this stuff. You don't have to be so attached to the things of the world. And the things are unimportant. What is important is the knowledge we learn.
Recording in progress.
Oh, one of you niggas a snitch. Who's recording?
Not-
Who's recording? God damn. Excuse me.
That was me. I had to hop onto this meeting, and so I didn't turn the sound. Trying to turn the sound down here.
Yeah,
but,
you gotta explain shit to me. I'm joking. Yeah, you gotta explain shit.
No worries.
What's up, Christos?
What's up, Chris?
Welcome, brother.
Hey, what's up, y'all?
That's good.
Jeff Kaiser, you've been coming at me recently, dog. Is this just messing around, or did I do something?
No, I mean,
Nah,
I'm poking the. I was just poking the bear. I think you're
no,
good, dude.
I figured. I appreciate it, bro, because it's like seeing a different side of you. I like when people change it up. So,
No,
no, I hear you. I figured you were just doing that.
Sometimes this can kind of be silly for content and stuff, but I think we're all kind of
Testing each other's egos to a certain degree in a healthy way.
Yeah, I mean, like, so like you're a young upcoming, like you're way far advanced more than I was when I was. What are you, 26 or something? 23?
Yeah.
Good way to
Same
think,
here,
bro.
man. I agree.
You know,
That's
so
true.
like, so maybe I'm like little side hating because you've got a little bit more figured out, more than I did at your age, which
Yeah.
I
Bless
appreciate
you,
that.
bro. That little honesty there, Joe. Bless you.
You little
Yeah,
son
no.
of a bitch, you.
No. I mean, no. You got it, Christos. I mean,
No, I appreciate y'all. You know, I have a lot to learn still.
I do too. Sometimes I got to check my own ego because I think what happens is everyone looks at themselves, and I think self-doubt is the dream killer of all of us.
Love it.
So it's like, so
I love it.
There's times in my life where I think I'm on top of it and I have a knowing of things, and then there's days where I'm just like, I'm fucking lost. I don't know what the fuck to do. I thought I had it figured out. And life just slaps you around, and then you just have to kind of like reassess yourself, you know. So it's probably more of an ego thing, but I'm just poking at you, Christos. But I think you're a good fellow. I
appreciate it. I understand.
I've been poking at you lately, but you remind me of a young me, so that's all.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Jeff. I understand. I knew you weren't hating. I knew you weren't hating for real. That's how the live chat goes. We gotta jab at each other. You know, it's part of it.
Yeah, no, I was doing it. I was doing it to Nacho the other day too, but it's kind of like it's an insecurity thing about myself because I struggle with drinking and stuff, and I'll be solid for like a minute, and then I can see some people hating on that and calling me out on it, and I'm like, do I want to be known as that dude that's just like a fucking wild card? Just get on here being drunk like a maniac or something. I mean, I am silly and funny. It's I don't try to take life too seriously, but at the same time, when people call me out on it, I'm like, I think I get a little butthurt, and that's a me thing. That's not a. But I appreciate actually when people do call me out because it makes me reassess and look at myself inward. That I know I could be better and be doing better and stuff. So
well, you know what?
That's all.
By the way, I really hate the fact that you have that really good-looking hair, man. Fuck.
Hey, Jeff.
Stop it.
Like Jack always says, you always, now is the moment to reinvent yourself. Me and him been going back with him for a few days on that. If that was an attempt to reinvent yourself, I'm impressed, right? I don't know nothing about the troll that was fucking with Christos. You know, what I saw, man, all that fucking honesty, man, 9 out of 10, man, 99 out of 100 ain't got in it to say what you just did.
Amen. That's what I wanted to pop in with as well, Jeff, is that self-awareness, that level of recognition of why you might be doing. Congratulations, man. Honestly, we can all strive to improve ourselves by doing just that. Recognizing our intentions. What is our purpose that's driving our actions?
I agree.
Yeah. It's one thing to look within. It's another thing to find balance within, but it's even another thing to be proud of that balance in who and what you are. And once you get to that place where you're proud of the energy that you're putting out into the world, then you truly find peace and harmony
It
in your
seems
life.
like shit starts happening, right? Listen, this is weird. I can't get high. This is dumb. I can't seem to get high off of psychedelics and mushrooms and acid and shit no more. But I seem to be there all the fucking time. I can cry over a fucking commercial. It's horrible. I can't go over a bridge without seeing God and shit. It's weird.
Yeah, dude, I mean, like every day, I listen to everyone's like story, and I've got my own story, and I've done psychedelics, and I do try to get centered and balanced, but like I do find myself, losing sight of certain things sometimes. I mean, there's just life happens, dude, and it's just like it's how you respond and react to what your circumstances are.
Agreed.
I mean, I could be grateful for a whole lot of shit that I have going on, but at the same time, it may look good and pretty on the outside, but it's like I'm no better than any other man. It's like I just want everyone to do well. So I never want to come off as a hater, because at the same time, it's like you want everyone when everyone's doing well, then everyone feels well. But you don't need to put other people down. So
there's a good reason for that doing well.
Survivor, if I, in the chat, I give him a little bit more shit, but I mean, Christos has it like, he's on the path, dude. So
I'm not immune from it either. So I can still appreciate, I appreciate the intention and thought and principle, and also what you're saying right now, I appreciate as well, bro. And I know you're not truly hating at the core of what you're doing. You're just doing what you're doing out of fun. Even if you are.
Yes, I mean, some of it's fun, but this is real, or is it real?
Yeah, there is stuff that we get triggered about and might hate. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
Speaking
this is
of
as real as it gets. Like I called Jack Talcott last night in the middle of the night. He picked up the phone, and it was surreal to me because I'm like, oh, I'm talking to Jack Talcott. On Facebook, and it was.
Hey, let's.
He answered the phone.
Let's come back to now. Let's come back
you
to
should have
now.
enjoyed that moment a little longer. That's just what I'm thinking.
I
come back to the now. I'd have sucked that up a little.
Jack Suicide Hotline. How can we help you?
Jack doesn't want to remember yesterday. He doesn't want to think about that conversation. Let's get back to the here and now, please.
No, I loved every minute of it, and Jack was very. He met my other buddy, and like it was good convo, man. I mean,
yeah, it's funny, Jeff, but I don't hear Jack saying that he loved every minute of it.
I don't know. Maybe he did. Maybe he didn't.
That is interesting, Jack. I wouldn't think of that shit on TW, but now
I'm sorry, guys. I have to speak my mind. I'm like that. You know how I am.
Jack,
I'm Canadian too.
What do you think? What did you think, Jack? What do you think?
It was enjoyable.
is a troll. I never knew that.
No. Actually, I just wanted to bring us back to the now and welcome. I don't think you've been to the panel before, Thunder Chicken, have you?
No, I don't think I have, Jack.
Great handle is little phallic.
Much love, y'all.
It's okay, yeah.
Just happened to have a moment where I could join a panel tonight.
Fuck yeah.
Hey,
but go ahead.
Oh, I was going to tell Jeff. It's the human condition of being a mortal soul in a physical realm. I didn't incarnate down here to ignore all of the pleasures and joys.
Ooh, look at this
all things in moderation, brother, including moderation. I just try to limit my drinkings to every other weekend or something. Sometimes I would do, sometimes I don't pass the test, but it's just all part of growing and getting better,
The weekend
yes.
It is.
See that word again, better.
Yes.
Well,
yes.
Hey, yes. Here's what we can strive and seek to become perfected. And I know the religions have taught a lot of people to believe that there's only one perfection, which can be used as an excuse. We can all take today, strive to become perfected in our own ways. And for me, I mentioned this before. What is perfection? Perfection could be defined as that which needs nothing more, nothing less.
I go for that.
And if you can find the nothing more, nothing lessness within yourself, if you can find your perfection, then you can strive to be better.
They say to want by definition.
Ramen, brother.
Oh fuck! I gotta say that was again. That was a great quote. They say to want by definition is to suffer. You were talking about finding.
What else is going on with y'all? Pontificating and procrastinating.
Hold on, Joe was saying something there.
No. Go ahead. Yeah, I was about that.
That's about it. Pontificating and the idea that I discussed started opening up today was about toughening up the inner will, the inner power of self through the intentional understanding of our spirit, of our energies, of the feelings, of our behavior. The intentional understanding is what brings, the peace beyond understanding. Once we know, then those powerful emotions, those triggers, those sensitive spots, they're not so vulnerable. They're not so reactive. So we can all individually, and I think collectively, we can help each other toughen up in kind ways. Like I was unkind to OTW, but we can recognize people's emotions, what they're dealing with in their lives, and we can help them find and return to help them remember their strength. And again, all of us are on our own individual paths. Maybe someone has never dealt with this type of loss, this type of betrayal, this type of addiction or pattern. We can help each other in so many ways, brothers and sisters.
Well, I was catching a discussion y'all was having earlier about coworkers that would make $500-600 in a day and then show up broke the next day, and where it's going.
Yeah, that was me saying that, Thunder Chicken.
Yeah, OTW. I've worked a lot of different construction sites too. I've seen a lot of these people. You seem to find a lot in construction because hard labor, and they don't really drug test a lot. So, but that's always been a fascinating mentality to me. It's like somehow, these people are in pain. Like, what have you noticed with the personalities of these people, OTW? It's like they're very kind and they'll give the shirt off their back, but you can see they're in a lot of inner turmoil, and that's why they escape reality daily with the substances of their choice. But however somebody chooses to regulate their meat suits.
I've learned to disconnect from those type of personalities. Honestly, I do not. I can't have any compassion or anything. It's because of the fact that first of all, I wouldn't even know where to start. I ain't no life coach, and it's like, what are you going to tell the guy he doesn't already know? You know what I'm saying? I mean,
I think all that.
No, about that. I was just asking your observations since you've been around these kind of people. I've spent a lot of time in my 20s.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time with these people, and even if you would talk sense into them, sometimes it's just like it's this cycle that they just keep repeating. It's like a habit,
like an NPC.
Yeah.
Oh no, man! It's even worse than just no.
Well, no, I mean, I think it's like there's a lot of people in the world that are just they're lost souls, and
exactly.
They don't
Ain't that who y'all came here for?
Like
just
they
curious.
don't have a purpose maybe or a meaning, so they get up and just do because they're supposed to or whatever, but there's not a deeper meaning into their life. And like, so
Who did y'all come here for if not the lost souls?
They're operating
Awesome.
on like a survival level.
Wait, Joe. What I've noticed, honestly, from like the stories and things that I've heard is like it's family related, right? So it comes from the parents,
Trauma
and
based.
then yes, exactly. It's really trauma based. It comes really far back, even into their childhood, and they drag that with them through their whole life, and that like as if they're stuck in that memory. And they just can't get out of it, and they get high and they repeat the process just to like forget about it, and just like because I've seen like holy shit, I've seen shit, man. I was like, oh, you wouldn't believe what I've seen, man. It's like, wow.
Oh, I believe it. I would definitely believe
drug addiction that I'm not sure if you all have heard before. You take 10 people that get injured and they have to go on some really strong, drugs to get over that injury, whatever it is, a week, a month, 3 months. 9 out of 10 people or 8 out of 10 people have no problem weaning themselves off and getting off that. But it's that other 2 out of 10 that will get on that feel that where they're not feeling that pain from whatever that trauma has caused into their life. And that's for a lot of the people that are, in this drug addiction, it's because it's easier to not feel when you're on these drugs than it is to have to think about whatever it is that caused you to, and then caused all the repercussions, whatever that trauma happened afterwards. It's not just that trauma, it's a whole list of traumas afterwards that were caused from that trauma. So a lot of people think, well, these people have no purpose or no point, but they're hurting inside, they're broken inside. So it's hard for them to find purpose or meaning in life when they still haven't even dealt with whatever that trauma is going on inside of them.
And
yeah, absolutely.
Can I get in here? Can I get in here a minute? You guys a second ago were talking about I disassociate with those type of people. I don't fuck with them. I separate. They have this issue, or aren't these guys the cats that all of this knowledge that you've gleaned? Ain't these the cats you should be around trying to help with this knowledge that you've learned?
I have.
Right? Are you just doctors?
I've been down that rabbit hole.
Doctors?
I've done every
you come for the
possible.
Did you come for the sick?
Dude, it has to be something that you want.
You judge. You judge. You get to judge and determine if it's his time, whether he's worthy of your advice. You judge.
Even if I gave the advice, if he doesn't take it, you can't. You can bring a horse to the fucking lake, but you can't force the horse to drink the water.
That's the point
Absolutely.
I'm trying to make. You got to keep taking him to that lake if you're your brother and you want to save him. If you got to drag his ass there, even if you don't want to drink, it's kind of your duty down there.
Wait a minute. Okay, I agree with you to a certain extent, not to the point where that person start dragging you down with them.
I'm not asking for crazy
that person's
shit.
drowning and is holding on to you and fucking dragging you to the bottom of the lake. What good are you to them if you're dead?
I'm not talking about crazy extremes. Leave your narcissist bitch behind. I'm not saying that. I'm just talking about normal shit.
You got to judge from your experience, and what my experiences is, because I was one of those people. You can't help somebody that doesn't want help. You offer the help.
We both agree on that.
You just gotta. Well, that's what I'm saying.
Was anyone there to help you?
You preach the
when
gospel.
You help? Was anyone there to help you when you needed help? How'd you get help?
That's a long story. But like I had a needle in my arm for 13 years. I've been clean for 5, and it was more. It was gnosis. It was enlightenment that brought me to it, not somebody's help.
I'm guessing.
For me, it was that. Yeah, for me it was a spiritual enlightenment. For me, it was a spiritual awakening, something like that.
There were people that offered me help when I wasn't ready for help. By the time I was ready for help, I figured it out on my own.
But none afterwards. You got clean, and no one offered you help at that moment. But everybody else was offering you help at first.
No,
surely there were people there that helped you, and you appreciated that those people were there to help you and give you advice when you were on the comeback. Right? They took the time to this nigga. He always fucking up. You know what? I'm gonna take another chance. I'm gonna fuck with him this time. All those people who stopped fucking with you, they took a chance with you again at some point. Right? Yeah. Your best friend, your mom, somebody fucking took a chance on your ass again.
Well, I don't have family. I had friends, but yeah, pretty much.
Well, there's some people that just don't have like someone that they look to for guidance. And
True.
Mentor.
There's like it's nice for everyone to have a mentor, to someone that you aspire to be like, but you have to be willing to want to be that grasshopper and want to be able to learn from other people, because
we all agree.
It's like some people don't ever have that example their whole life, so they're running around lost and confused, and they don't understand because they've never had any real leadership or guidance, or
exactly, because you real niggas. I'm sorry. You real cats want to leave them because they're broken, they're fucked up.
That's a part of it. There's many variables in the equation, but the problem still gets solved all on its own. The person has to want to do better.
Yeah,
there has to be a sign of hope. Yeah, so that's the thing with that. Like sometimes you keep these people at arm's distance. You love from a distance.
Yeah, exactly. And you be the change that you expect in the world. You be the example for that person. Instead of trying to tell him what to do, you just do and be the example for that person. Eventually that person, if he's a little bit smart, he'll catch on.
Yes.
But like
even if he doesn't, you're doing yourself good.
Even 5 years clean off of that kind of stuff, like even like Jeff said, like I still drink on occasion. I'm still like, I'm a fucking cigarette guy, and I smoke cannabis. That's like the last 3 vices I have. I've cut out sugars and sodas and drugs and breads but like we're all still human, So that's why I don't try to judge these things. Like everybody's on a different progression of the path, and I'm not where I want to be yet, but I'm working toward it. But
Can I jump in here for just a moment, please?
Please, brother, please.
Well, the whole message I'm trying to encourage is it reaches a lot of resistance. A lot of people want to create objections. We can create all sorts of excuses why we don't help others. We can create all sorts of excuses why we don't help ourselves. When we humble ourselves to the fact that this world is not right, we will start finding the answers for ourselves and each other. And when people believe that there is a change, that there is better, when they believe that better is available and within their reach, I think people go for it.
I think they'll reach for it.
So many in my own darkness and addiction, I didn't think I would have happiness without what I had learned in the past.
I understand.
And there's a lot of these examples you brought up, OTW, people working their day, burning through what they've earned, just spinning this hamster wheel of survival, and it's hell. When all you're doing is working to survive and your survival is entertainment and distraction, you're living in hell.
Well, a lot of them, it's in my case, it was yearning for a simpler life. Now that I'm on a farm, it is that simpler life that when you're addicted to opiates, only thing that matters is opiates. It's a simple life. It really is. So there's something to be said about that. Just the overwhelming burden of society itself and societal standards, and you need to have a credit score, and you got to do this, and you got to do that, and it's this.
But it doesn't just relate to drugs. Sorry to interrupt you, bro, but it doesn't just relate to drugs. It also has a lot to do with alcohol.
Yeah,
and I even believe alcohol is like a door opener to all these other drugs.
Escapism. That's what he's talking about.
It depresses our energies, and with the lower energies, I believe that there's demonic energies. There are dark forces that can come into our patterns of thinking, into our energetic states, and those dark forces can create all sorts of fear and hate and all sorts of shit. Hey, welcome, Billy the Kid, Steve.
Hey, welcome. Thank you, Mr. Talcott. I just want to say that beer is not a gateway drug. I'm just saying it never made me want to do heroin. Never made me want to do methamphetamine.
Did it make you want to improve?
In fact, I was doing cocaine on a more regular basis than I was doing a beer at the beginning. So, but thank the Lord. And I got the monkey off my back in 2009, Actually, 2003. I relapsed in 2009 one time,
Right on.
and then after that, haven't touched it since.
Very
And
good.
that's a mean mofo right there.
Yeah.
Now, alcohol is a mean mofo. I'm telling you, it's a mean mofo.
Yeah.
It can take over your life, and it has for me. I mean, I'm not as productive as I was when I, wasn't drinking.
Right on.
But I don't know. I'm 52 years old.
I'm an anti-alcohol dude. I'm fucking, I hate alcohol. I hate people that get drunk. I don't hate that person in particular. I just hate the being that becomes them.
Yeah.
Because they're all the same. They're all the same being. Every single fucking person that drinks becomes the same fucking being. They all act the same fucking way.
Like,
they all.
I don't necessarily agree with that. I do not agree with that,
They do.
dude. No,
I had an alcoholic father.
BS.
I had an alcoholic wife. I had alcoholic friends that have alcohol in my fucking life for the past 46 years, dude. I know what I'm talking about.
But I think it breaks down barriers of who and what those person are, and everybody has different of who and what they are. So the alcohol brings down those barriers, and maybe you've had a lot of similar people with similar barriers or similar, reactions to what that alcohol is. But most people act a little bit differently, depending on.
I'll give you one characteristic that everybody does when they all get drunk. What the fuck is that, right? Okay, everybody does that. So you're telling me that's not a similar characteristic that everybody does when they drink? They end up talking like a fucking, with a potato in their mouth.
That's like saying everybody that smokes weed gets red eyes.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly, Hobbit.
But like when you say like their behavior, like you have friendly drunks, you have crying drunks,
everybody
you have
can
violent
socially
drunks.
have one drink and not end up talking like that. I'm saying people that get drunk, that abuse the alcohol.
What is the point of one drink? I don't get that. I just don't get it. Never did, man.
It takes about a good 8 or 9 for me to be slurring like that. Then that's an excessive.
Dude, I can
that's
drink
excessive.
over a 12-pack and not be slurring. Just saying.
How
You're
fast?
slurring right now.
A whole week to drink a 12-pack.
I'm slurring now. This is my 5th beer. I'm slurring now. That's fucking hilarious.
I'm slurring right now. I only had a 12-pack. I'm fucking fine. I can take my car to the store. Honey, where are the keys?
First time I bought alcohol in Nebraska, I drank like an 18-pack, and I was like, "What the fuck? Why ain't I drunk?" And like, they sell weak beer in the Midwest, the prairie states. I was like, "What the hell?"
Wow.
That 3% beer, man, they don't do the trick.
But yeah, like how everybody chooses to regulate their meat suit, that's your business. When you're causing loss, injury, and harm to others because of it, it's not just your business, is it?
I agree with you, Hobbit, there, for sure. Yeah.
Hey, what about, let's see if that theory holds true.
I'm pro free will.
What if you see your guy making a fool of himself? Are you obligated to try and pull him up?
Am I my brother's keeper?
Yes, that's what I'm asking. Yeah.
That's your choice, isn't it? That's your choice.
That's your choice. I think you're obligated. I'm obligated. I'm certainly my brother's
keeper. Of course I would, but I don't blame somebody for not.
Agreed. I'm with you there too.
Everything is circumstantial. I don't live in the black and the white. There's no 100% in this reality.
Be like Bruce.
Everything is circumstantial.
Be like water. You take
be like Wi-Fi and drop out.
Oh my God! I went out on my Bruce Lee quote, bro. Be like water, my friend. Be like water. That was Bruce Lee.
Yeah. Well, Wi-Fi is like air. So it's just on the air.
I'm in the desert, Joe. I'll be lucky, man. It take 10 minutes to download a 3-minute video out here.
I'm gonna get to bed, guys. I'm in the East Coast time zone. I got shit to do in the morning, so I was glad to come up, Jack, and hey, Jeff, and Christos, and OTW. I'm glad you're back from vacation, and Joe, and all you other motherfuckers I don't know. But much love.
How about congratulations on 5 years without that needle, man. That's awesome, dude.
I'd be lying to you if I said I didn't miss it sometimes.
Praise God.
There's a reason I did heroin. It's a fucking great feeling. But,
hey, I'm
all the
5
side
years
effects,
off of that shit, man.
Much love,
supposedly that's what killed Jim Morrison, an overdose of heroin.
I don't believe that shit. Ask Admiral Morrison. Y'all have a good night.
All right.
I don't believe that shit. Yeah, I wouldn't put nothing past.
Hey, let's talk about the elephant in the room here too with booze, though. It is a science shows it affects our mind. It is normalized, it's promoted, it is treated just as though it's just fine. And here's what drinking does.
Kills people.
It prevents us from working towards our purpose.
I agree with you, Jack.
Wait.
I agree with Jack. Jack definitely hit the nail on the head.
Wait. What about drinking in moderation? I think we're only talking about drunks here, absolute drunks. What about drinking in moderation? The guy who has a drink before he goes into a meeting or a party to loosen up. Is it horrible then? I don't think so. Not necessarily.
Well, it depends if he dies of a liver infection or something.
Yeah, well, it depends if he get bit by a ZC fly. That's about the same odds, right?
No, but honestly, the alcohol is digested by the liver. So if he has a problem with his liver eventually because he's been abusing alcohol for decades, then he dies of a liver, whatever it's called.
I literally said it's the guy who maybe has a drink, going into a meeting. He is not the guy who is abusing alcohol every day. What about that guy?
I've seen many people that can handle one or two drinks, here and there. They've gone years and years. They don't get off, they don't, and they're able to handle it. They don't let that spirit control them. They don't get to the point where they have too many, where they go off veer, off course. And there's lots of people like that. So, you can't blanket statement that to everyone.
Yeah. I probably have
Jack,
a beer.
You said the purpose, right? So it applies to everything except not even alcohol, right? It applies to everything. If you're an abusive person and you don't know how to use something in moderation, you're going to abuse the fuck out of it, and it's going to change your purpose no matter what. It's not just alcohol.
Okay, I like it.
Right?
True.
Yeah.
The point I was making in the greater scope, alcohol is just one small example. But if you look at the similarities, it is commonplace practice to sell poisons and toxins to the consumers as though it's normal. Okay? It's not fucking normal.
It's normal.
These cheap fake beers like Bud Light, MGD, the big name, that's not fucking beer. It's chemicals and coloring sold as beer.
Yeah.
You got a can of dip on your table, man.
I know. I've been corrupted, and I am saying we can all help each other overcome our past choices. We can all help each other learn, that there's better things, better ways to do. This idea of alcohol, man, I know this one intimately because I used that excuse my whole life. Are you quitting?
Oh, it was empty. I was just acting cool.
Hey, I admitted this.
I'm not quitting
today. Dude, that Billy the Kid, look up. Oh,
this is my baby right here. This is my house beer right here, baby. Come on.
Learn how that stuff is made, please. Learn.
This is the bottom of the barrel. I know that, man. I know it.
Oh, it's below
I can afford it because I drink like 60 beers a week. So
you drink 60 beers a night. Hey, Jack, I'm finna hop off, man. I got shit to do.
60? Let me think.
60 beers a week is way too many. I'm telling you. And I'm not going to be around probably for much longer.
You drink less than my woman.
That's fine. We're about to enter we're entering World War III. I'm telling you, our nation's about to take a big dump. Okay, they're going to dump all over us, man. I'm telling you, it ain't going to be one time.
Billy the Kid, I love you. Here's one example. You're a man who's accepted, 60 beers a week, and I'm not disparaging, but you are an example, and these are your admissions. And you're, I guess, preparing yourself for defeat, brother.
I'm ready to die, dude. I'm just saying.
I'm telling you, I overcame my patterns of most of my patterns of self-abuse, which included the use of alcohol and booze. Okay. And what I see, brother, I see all of you. There's a reason all of us are coming together. I know what is in my purpose and my goal. It is to confront those who want to continue to oppress and confuse and distort. And I want to rewrite the rules for the future. So there's a reason you joined here today. You
What's
may not
rule number
realize
one, Jack?
What's that?
You're right. You're rewriting the rules. What's rule number one?
Love is the law.
Rules.
Love
Live
is
without
the law.
fear. Rule number
The
one,
law.
live without fear.
Hey, fear exists, but do not allow it to consume you nor control you. Do not blame others for your fears. Don't blame others for your worries, your behaviors. But the rules would be simple. Love is the law. The law of love is the truth. And if we love the truth, we can love one another, because the truth is we're just reflections. We're little pieces and fragments of each other. Together, all of us on this panel are making this experience of this panel for others to see and to join and to learn from. I love you guys. I'm feeling like shutting it down, though. Any words?
I really don't want to die. I really
Stop
don't.
drinking.
Stop drinking.
Brother, choose to live.
Stop buying it.
That would be
Hold
a
on.
first thing, man.
That's a big step. Yes, a
But
big
also,
part of it.
I feel like I've lived my life. I've already been around, done everything I wanted to do in life.
Then you're done?
I don't know, man. I mean, who wants to live into their elderly age where they, I don't know, man.
Hey,
I do.
The kid. Hold on.
Why do you want to live that old? Who wants to ever live?
You know
as
why?
a-
I'll tell you why. Jack, do you mind? Do you mind?
Please.
Okay.
Tell me why,
I'll tell
man.
you why. Okay, hold on a sec. The other day, I went and did a construction work at some elderly, an elderly couple, right? And the husband had a nice garage, and in the garage, he had like really nice, beautiful cars, old cars, Corvettes and stuff, and like a Camaro SS, and like old ones, like in the 70s and stuff like that. Really, really nice cars, So I'm working there and everything, and all of a sudden, I see like all these buddies show up, man. And they all walk in and they all have cool cars and stuff like that. And they're all gray hair guys and white hair, and like they're all, and I figured, man, if I'm going to grow old, that's how I want it to be. So you're the one who has to determine what your growing old is for you, man.
Yes.
So me, I'm 46 now, and I see these white-haired men. I'm saying to myself, man, if I reach that white hair stage, this is how I wanted it to be. That's the exact. There, I have the example of exactly what I would have liked for it to be for me. Well, maybe less the cars. I'm not like that much of a car buff, but anyway, it was like having the buddies over, and still, still having some of them around, and still having something to live for. You know what I'm saying? And this, this man did still have things to live for.
Hey, I agree with that. When we can find a future that we want to live for. And here, if you don't want to die, you got to first ask yourself, have I lived? How greatly have I lived? How much have I lived? The way we live, the way I judge myself by living, I've lived a lot of lifetimes in this lifetime. What changes a life is learning new things, new concepts, expanding your paradigms and your limits to new ideas. And Billy the Kid, I am so hopeful for the future because of the things I've learned from others. There are others creating new technologies, new advancements. There's people working together to try and overcome the corruption and bring to light some of the darkness and lies that have been told. There's a lot of great things happening right now. And if you can find within you the spark of life that is you, rejuvenate that, respark that life, the inner child of you to discover, praise God, all things are possible. And the future, man, we don't know what we don't know.
Dude, my future's so bright, I gotta wear shades. Come on now.
That's the right attitude. And if you got to fake it till you make it, till you believe it, you know, you start saying those things, and then the universe will start, your mind will see facts that prove you correct. So keep positive thoughts in mind for the future, because if you want to believe negative, the world will show you what you want.
Yeah, it'll show you negative for sure. No, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I was playing devil advocate there, dude.
Respect.
I want to live as long as I can live. You know, it may be tomorrow. You know, when I go out, who knows? But in my realm, in myself, I mean, I'm allowing myself like to drink these beers like there's no tomorrow. I mean, I swear to God, like last week I bought a 30-pack of Frio, which is a 6% alcohol beer, and I drank 27 of them within the 36-hour period of time. I didn't even go to sleep. I just kept drinking. And I'll be honest with you, when I went to bed, I was in bed for 18 hours, and you know, my heart's like, you know, it's like, and I'm 52 years old, so it's just a matter of time before it just, that's it, lights out, you know. And yet I keep doing it. I've been drinking beer since, I guess the first time I ever got drunk, I think it was 13, but then it was 17, and then I did it once 17, got really drunk, and then I didn't do it again until I was like 22, 21, 22 is when. And I started playing guitar at the age of 21. You know, I was in the middle school band playing the drums at the age of whatever it is, 11 or 12. Graduated to the guitar, got in a Rush tribute band. I was in the cover bands and doing that thing. And I was, you know, back then my drinking wasn't 60 beers a week. No, not even close. It was way less than that. I was more into smoking weed back then. Now I don't smoke weed and drink a lot of beer. Not good for the liver, that's for sure. My liver, they already told me 2 years ago, they said it was 5 centimeters too big. They took one of those scanners, you know, like a baby scanner thing, and they went through there, and they said, yeah, the thing is enlarged, and, you know, they said if you continue to do this, you're going to die.
Billy the Kid.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to speak to you like a brother who loves you, okay?
Okay.
Your words just admitted what you know. You know it's time to change, okay? So that's the first step, is admitting maybe it's time. Maybe this pattern is not good for me, and you accept. You need to really kind of consider if these are the signs of the choices you've been making. You need to start thinking about what's going to happen if you don't change, and it's not going to look good, okay? You know that.
No,
so
look, who wants their mother and their father to bury their kid?
Amen.
I mean, Jesus.
Amen. So see, Billy, there's a reason everything happens, and this is actually something I truly care about and I truly know about, is this pattern of drinking. Here's what I learned for myself, and I encourage you. You've lost sight of a purpose for yourself. You've lost sight of what you want to learn and what you want to become. So to break the patterns of drinking, find something you want to learn about yourself, something that will improve your life for those around you. You know, we all want to make those we care about proud, right? So I encourage you, and I'm easily, reach out. I am easily reached and happy to talk to anyone.
Jack, question for you, sir. Were you an alcoholic at one point in your life?
The majority of my life, I had a very heavy drinking problem. And for those familiar with the big book from AA, I fit the characteristics. I made all these excuses, tried changing my drinking. But the last decade for me, I was trapped in a whiskey bottle, whiskey and vodka every day, and then countless beers in between. It was sickness. So sorry. Yes, it's something I've held intimately for quite a while with my life.
And you have 10 years of sobriety now?
2016.
Okay,
So,
that's a long time. That's like what, 7 or 8 years?
7 years.
Good.
Yeah.
Pretty damn
Yeah.
good. If I get a week, I'm like, okay, well, awesome. And then and then of course you go back to.
But it's a daily thing, Billy. It's a daily thing. You got to just do it for one day. Just try it for one day.
Yeah, one day at a
the next. Yes, it's a one day at a time thing, man. You can't go like, okay, I'll try stopping for a week, or I'll stop for a month, or I'll stop. No, just stop today. Just for today. Just try it for today. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing, man. All you have to do is tell yourself that every single day. I'm going to try it for today. I'll try to, try to fucking pass through the fucking whole freaking day till I go to bed tonight. I'll try to do it today. That's it. And then the next day you do it again. Today I'm going to try it again. I'm going to do it, and that's it. It's a daily thing, man.
Dude, man, I've been through 4 rehabs, man. I've been to prison. I've been to prison, safe prison, where all you do for 6 months is program.
Hey, Billy.
And I got out of that place in the first couple of months, right back to drinking beer. Under the radar, man. I was so lucky I didn't get popped for that, but they tried to pop me. They came over to my house.
There's a difference when you're obligated to not drink and you're forced to because of exterior, circumstances. But it's a completely different paradigm when you're the one who wants to gain control of yourself. When you don't want to let your body control you, your urges, your desires, your whatever your mouth wants to have, and you understand. It's all a question of you having an absolute control over every single aspect of your humanity.
Right.
It's an escape.
And actually,
it's an escape from reality. I have a reality that I'm trying to escape from.
Yep. So
That's
Billy,
why I drink.
Billy, I want you to recognize in your reality right now, in the private chat is my phone number, my email. I'm offering you support in the mindset of like a sponsor or just even a friend to brainstorm and help you with, okay? Because these are things, addictions and patterns of thought is something that I've actually dedicated myself to understanding better, because I don't like seeing people who are suffering from that misery of lack of self-control. It sucks.
And I'm also in pain. I mean, I have vertebrae issues.
It goes together,
So
brother.
it's about, I don't have no painkillers. I'm not on any painkillers. So it's not even like this beer ain't even like I've had 5 beers. It's not even attempting to do anything for it. But I know if I drink enough, it will. But then, of course, it's affecting your liver, your brain, your heart, all your kidneys, everything.
Brother, everything is coming together. You've got a pattern of thinking that is allowing you to continue to self-sabotage yourself with the drinking, even against your better judgment. So you got a pattern of thinking that is bringing a dis-ease within your body, maybe bringing discomfort and reasons to justify the patterns of drinking. And it's all coming together. But I'm telling you, brother, what I would encourage you, you've already started your day. You're 5 in. Enjoy the shit out of the day, right? Don't go overboard, but have your beers. Tomorrow, start with the idea that tomorrow is brand new, and you can become brand new. And I'm willing to offer you whatever I can,
Oh yeah, and there's another disease that can be created by drinking beer. Diabetes.
I understand that. And I'm already pre-diabetic.
You're consuming so much sugar, it's incredible.
Well, but alcohol turns to sugar. It's not. There's no sugar that's used to make.
But that's the whole point. That's why your body creates deposits of fat, and that's most likely why you have a stomach around your waist.
Exactly right. He's exactly right. That's the truth. It's sick. It's a sick practice, and I'm a sick person.
The
and
good
I'm lucky
news
to be
is,
talking to you right now.
Just
Billy,
like Jack said, at least you know it.
yes, the great news is the solution is right under your nose. Matter of fact, it's right behind your eyeball.
Decision. How come I keep turning to it? Like, I'll take a day off after drinking 14 beers because I feel like I'm going to fucking die. And then all of a sudden, well, I'm feeling a little bit better. Okay, let's go get some more.
You know, for me, and I everyone's journey's different, but for me, I went on some of these panels and I acted in ways that I didn't respect myself for doing. So, you know, maybe you keep coming. Why don't you be back here tomorrow, Billy? You got to go out there and you got to make bad choices. What I did is I told people, yeah, I got a problem. And I had people like CIA who, you know, used to be a real thorn in my side. I see where he's coming from. I appreciate him. So you got to have people holding you accountable. You got to admit you have a problem. And that's how you start. So you know you have the problem. Now, just
I've had a problem, dude. I think I got my first 2 DWIs in the same week in 1996.
So
first
now you're here admitting
DWIs at the age of 25.
But it's nothing to be proud of, man.
And I'm not, you know. I'm not.
But you're laughing while you're saying it, though. It sounds like you're proud.
Okay, you want to get to the point? I have 4 of them. Okay, 4 of these motherfuckers.
And that's 4 times you could have died. So feel blessed.
Yeah, I drank over 300 or 400 times drinking and driving. Do I do it now? No, I do not. Because that 4th one, they really fucked me over.
You can get through.
Or I fucked myself over, if you want to talk like that. I take full responsibility. I'm fortunate I didn't hurt anybody or kill anybody. You know, I'm fortunate.
Hey, brother, that is the humbling truth that I had to reckon within myself. How many times in my impaired judgment did I risk others without knowing it? You know, when we're not in a clear state of mind, we make choices that are not healthy. And brother, the toxification of this world through the society, through the brainwashing, through the diets, there is a lot of opportunity for cleansing, for change, to strive to become perfected. We've got a lot of opportunities. But
the CIA in the chat, he's saying I have no responsibility. It's completely wrong, dude. I have a job. You know, I'm a functioning alcoholic. You know, that's
dangerous. That's dangerous. That's what I was too. I got away with it, and I enabled myself because I didn't hit a rock bottom that others could clearly point to. But every day is an opportunity for us to reinvent ourselves, to renew our spark of life. It's up to each of us. The world will darken us. It'll throw water on your light and just give you all sorts of reasons to hide your light. But man, we are here. We're here to change this world in our own ways, not to let the world change us into their own ways. And supporting the profits of the executives of Bud Light, Budweiser, all these corporations. Come on, brother. Find a local brewery, if anything.
InBev bought out Anheuser-Busch. InBev, they're freaking, I think they're European. Yeah.
Well,
crazy.
Hey,
I'm
Jack.
not trying to support them at all, but yeah.
With someone who's having alcoholism issues, I don't know if it works the same as like say drugs, but if you're an alcoholic, since you have been one and you're beating it, you're winning, do you just have to ask yourself that you want to not drink anymore? Like you have to want to not drink anymore, right?
When I feel like crap and I'm laying in bed going, I can barely breathe. I feel my chest tightening for real lately. And yeah, your liver, you can feel like the inflammation, and you know, and I'll go like another day. Like yesterday, I did not drink. The day before, I drank 14 beers. Okay, I went to bed for I don't know over 13 hours. I was in bed just trying to get over it, you know. And then like today, I got up and I'm like, okay, yeah, and in the moment, I'm like, dude, that's it. You're not gonna do it anymore. That's it. You're done. And then the next day, you know, I'm like, okay, it's like a new day. Let's go get a 12-pack, you know. And today, I'm fortunate I only got a 12-pack because, you know, when I go to the big grocery store, there's that 30-pack there for $21, you know, and like that's what a steal.
Hell of a bargain.
And that's the problem. It's so cheap, man. That doesn't help at all.
No, you're absolutely right. If that was $100, I'd probably be like, I'm gonna quit drinking, you know.
Smokers don't say that though. They're like $21 a pack, and their people are still smoking.
That's true.
Here's what I've learned from not just myself but humanity. What you're describing, we go as an alcoholic. I'd go through a binge and, you know, just be miserable. And I would I'd look at myself, judge myself. What the fuck are you doing? This is insanity. And then you feel like crap. And then you start to feel better. And then a drink. It doesn't sound like such a bad idea. You feel better now. And a matter of fact, one drink will help me. I know it'll help me feel better. So we make excuses and we start perpetuating this thing. The point is, when we hit those real dark times where we're sick, we say, I don't want this. I want to stop. But then we lose the discipline. We forget how miserable it was. So what really is truthful about change, we got to replace. We got to find a way to replace. And the best way to replace a self-sabotaging behavior is one with self-improvement. And overcoming a pattern of drinking that's been developing and growing for a long time, that may be like a huge goal to start with, but that can be combined with others. And other goals, smaller goals, can become distractions from the bigger goal. And what we're doing is we're just reinventing how we want to live, how we want to spend our time.
Hey, Billy, I have something I'd like to share with you.
Okay.
There's a way for you to discover how you can take back the control that you really want. Okay. And, you know, it's a pretty simple process. Okay. But you really want to have to try it. You understand? And it's through fasting. Okay. Because there's one thing that you realize through fasting is that you're not the one that's in control of anything. Your body is you're an autopilot. Your body's in absolute control of everything. But the hardest thing to do to stop whatever addiction, try stop eating. Eating is even worse than trying to stop drinking, okay? Because you actually get food pains. You get like stomach aches and you go fucking all over the place when you're hungry, right? So this teaches you that your body is the one that's actually in control. So I've done the process myself because I'm the type of guy who likes to be in absolute control. You know what I mean? Well, at least of myself, right? And I don't like the fact that my body dictates what I'm going to do. I rather have my own soul, spirit, and mind and body, you know, like everything in harmony together and focusing on the direction that I'm going in. And by doing that, you through fasting, I believe, is where you regain your power, is where you regain that control again, because you have you've defeated the hardest thing to overcome, which is hunger. And the next thing is death. After hunger is death. To try to overcome death is another thing, but to overcome hunger, at least, is the first step to regaining absolute control of yourself.
Yeah, fasting is great. I've done many fastings over the years, a bunch of 3-day water fast. I've actually fasted on the Master Cleanse, where I didn't eat or drink anything, just the water, maple syrup, lemon juice, and cayenne pepper for 14 days. The 15th day is when I ate a light soup and salad. And then the 16th, orange juice was on the 15th day, and 16th day was a light soup and salad. So I really didn't eat anything for 15 days. And usually every time I fast, the first day is a little tough. Second day is really tough. Day 3, it gets easier.
Yeah, and day 3, you go into ketosis and your body starts healing, brother. It heals itself. So all that pain that you're going through is most likely because you consume alcohol, but you don't nourish yourself correctly. You eat garbage food.
Yeah.
So if you're experiencing all kinds, and this is not medical advice, I'm talking from personal experience. If you're experiencing pain in your body and all kinds of different issues, it's because of what you eat, man.
I agree with you, man. Big Macs, Big Macs every day, and pizza is it's
a killer.
Just another thing, Billy. Oh, sorry. I saw somebody else put in the chat. Maybe consider some painkillers. That might help.
No,
don't trade $1 for 4 quarters, man. Come on, man.
Instead of killing the pain with alcohol, which is destructive.
Man.
Weed may be okay, but not anything synthetic.
I was on tramadol for freaking 4.5 years after I was in that rehab facility. Some young guy hopped off his bunk, landed on my back, on my spine and my neck, and he herniated 2 discs in the middle of my back. And I'm dealing with it ever since. And when I got out of that facility, back into the civilian world, I went to the doctor, and they took an MRI and all that, and they said, and I loaded up with a tramadol, man, up to 6 pills a day. I think it was a max 300 milligram or whatever it was. And then one day I came up dirty for weed at the doctor's office, and they were like, "Oh, they can't give you any more of that tramadol." Well, I had to beg and plead to them to wean me off of it, because that's not something you just want to go off cold turkey. 6 pills a day could kill you. And they did agree to wean off a pill a month and 6 months. And I guess what? I haven't been on that shit for over 5 years now. So, but now all I'm doing now is just drinking beer. That's it. As far as
okay. Hey, Billy, please and thank you. We've been talking about drinking and habits. I'm ready to wrap it up.
Yeah.
I appreciate everyone who joined. And any final words from the panel as I start clearing out, or you clear out?
I'll go first. I'll jump out. I got real quick. Billy, show up here tomorrow. Have your glasses off if you're still listening. We want to see you and hold you accountable. I'm proud to say I got 6 days under my belt, and I'm going to just try to.
Well, you got 6 days of no drinking alcohol?
It's a start.
So. That's really good.
All right. Well, you can do it too. God bless you, man. Good insight too, Jack. God bless you, man.
Thank you, brother. And actually, coming from Smith, he admitted earlier he's shown some patterns of behavior. He's shown his intoxication quite a few times on stream, and he recognized that pattern. He saw it in himself, and so 6 days, I'm encouraging and congratulating him. And Billy, so his encouragement is coming from a man who's in the midst of it right now. So, okay.
All right, so I want to go next. So, Jack, great stream, man. Awesome stream, and I'm actually going to share it to my community. So, kudos to you. Great stream. Nice to meet you, Billy. Nice talking to you, Jesse. Christos, always a pleasure. And I'm signing off.
Respect. Thanks, OTW.
I just went back and watched one of the other Paul streams, and I saw you and OTW going back and forth. So it's cool that you could have this interaction and this whole panel tonight after that. And Jesse, I'm very impressed with what you were talking about. That's awesome. 2-week plus fasting.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Inspiring to hear. And yeah, thanks for being genuine with us, Billy, because I thought you were trolling at first there a couple times, to be honest.
No, this is my life, man. I don't lie about my life. I'll tell you the truth, man.
Right, but thank you, Jack. I don't want to drag it on, but yeah, do come back, Billy, and I'll be back as well, Jack. Thank you.
Good to see you, man. Good to meet you.
Thank you, brother. Billy,
I'll go. Nice to meet you, Jack. You got a caring heart. You got a caring people who watch you, who take the time out of their lives to come on the panel with you. And, you know, I think, what, 7 more beers tonight, and then we'll see what happens, you know. So,
Hey,
you know,
hey,
but
Billy,
yeah.
please and thank you. Thank you for seeing this. There's some great people. I've been blessed. There is a great community that is building with this channel and the platform. And brother, you are welcome. These are people who care. All of us, we are all growing in this human development together. And I shared my number, my info. If you can accept the idea of sponsor or whatever, I'm available for you. And I do want to just plant the seed of thought for you. Tomorrow, when you wake up, it is a new day. And a path of sobriety just starts without choice. Choice takes a second, man. And then the discipline grows and it grows and it grows. And next thing you know, fucking old habit is a thing of the past.
Last year, I had one time last year, for real, I had 47 days sober. I had 21 days sober one time and 10 or 11 days one time. And just recently, within the last month, I had 1 week sober. And then I don't know why, but, you know, I go back to it. I know right when I go back to it, it's just going to start the whole cycle over again. You know?
Tell you what, Billy, if you find it within you to reach out to me, I want you to set within you a purpose for our time. And the purpose I want to share this time with you is to give you some tips, some tricks, and some ideas so that your strength, you start growing like that, okay? You feel confident and know that you've got what you need for the direction you want. Okay?
I just wanted to
Thank you,
share there,
Jack.
Billy, that when I stopped drinking, it's coming up on September 5th. It's going to be 10 years. It was one of the best decisions that I've ever made in my life. I needed to do that because I needed to quit smoking cigarettes. And every time that I wanted to stop smoking, I quit. At that time, I was smoking for almost 20 years. And every time I quit smoking, I quit drinking at the same time. And every time I didn't smoke for 6 months, and then there was some New Year's or birthday, I start drinking. And then all of a sudden, after about 3 or 4 drinks, I hadn't drank in 6 months. I just quit cold turkey both. Every time, just cold turkey. And every time when I started drinking again, 3 or 4 or 5 drinks in, I needed to smoke. And then I'll ask someone. The next thing you know, I got a pack of smokes. And then when I drink sometimes 18, 20 drinks. And so I go for a long time. I got a pack of smokes in my pocket. I wake up the next day and then I smoke the next day like I never stopped smoking for 6 months. And it was this 3 times I tried. And I told myself if I ever really wanted to stop smoking, I needed to stop drinking. So I stopped smoking after this crazy houseboating trip I was on. I thought I broke my back. I broke my hand. I got stung by a wasp. It was just a wild thing. That was the last time that I ever drank. And then 1 year later, on September 1st, I had a quit smoking ceremony with my 2 daughters. One lasted a week, one lasted a month, and I'm on, coming up on 9 years that I haven't smoked. And in between that time, I stopped all synthetic drugs. So just trying to keep everything as natural as possible throughout my life.
Amen.
Man, Jesse, that's awesome, dude. You're an inspiration, that's for sure. Both of you.
Hey, we are here together. I'm going to wrap it up. Billy, thank you, brother. Jesse, God bless you. Thank you, brother. Brothers and sisters, all those who joined on the panel, and especially, those who came up man enough, open enough, strong enough to be vulnerable. Respect to you. I honor that. And I hope you felt respected. And brothers and sisters, those who were here, I hope you picked up maybe some ideas for yourself, whether your patterns are drinking, whether it's maybe gambling, whatever. If you've got these patterns of self-abuse, the stinking thinking, right? The unpleasant thoughts that linger and, just seem to kind of take us over. Every one of us deals with those at different times in different levels. And every one of us is going through our different life challenges and lessons. But what makes life better, from my experience, what makes life truly better is relationships. Finding a bond with another, even if it's just for a temporary time in your day, in your life, finding a bond and a connection with another being to know that you're not in this life all alone. There are others who, while they're facing their own challenges, there's others who are there to encourage you, that want to see you succeed, that want to see you become whatever it is that you can. And, brothers and sisters, 3 hours, God bless. That's a good long stream for me. And I want to thank you all again. Please do the YouTube thing, do the subscribe and hit the notifications so you know when we come back again. And until next time, choose love, peace for everyone, and live without fear. Intentionally understanding the moments of your day so that you can bring forth that future that's waiting to be emerged. God bless.